there's a little bit of a delay.
Oh, shoot. And we are back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the FU podcast. This is episode 207.
207.
May 28th, 2024. Hello and welcome, everybody.
Is it the 28th?
It is, I think.
It's kind of weird. Almost like, I don't know. It was like a tornado happened or something. And all of a sudden we're here.
We will get into that, sir.
Hi, Ashley. Good to see you.
What's happening?
Or I guess hear from you. You see them, hear it, I guess. I don't know, whatever it is on the on the comment section.
Yeah, so without further ado, we'll kind of dive into the weather because that's a majority of our well, not majority of the stories, but in the beginning, that's going to be what we're going to be discussing because a lot's happened in 24 hours, actually in 12 hours, if you want to be specific.
Well, I mean, if you really want to go back to Friday.
Well, I wasn't here Friday, so I missed that.
Yeah, but I mean,
we'll get into that.
I'll be honest. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It's been a crazy last 5 days, man. 5-6 days, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
They can't see you on Twitch. Just FYI. Can they hear us?
Wonder why they can't see us.
They can't see us. They can't hear us. I don't know.
Interesting. I'm logging into Twitch right now.
I wonder about YouTube. Well, technical glitches as usual. 207 kicking it. This is also why a lot of podcasts don't always do live. Some do.
Okay, video's working on. I just verified. There's a major delay on Twitch apparently. I just logged in and it was showing the intro. I was like, dude, we're already. How many minutes are we in? Where's the counter thingy? Why doesn't it show me? It used to show me that.
So it looks like we're good.
There it is. We were 3.5 minutes in.
Yeah, we're good on YouTube. All right, it's cool.
All right, well, thank you, audience. Appreciate you.
Yeah, good looking out. So back to it.
All right, so without further ado, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there are more storms coming our way. In fact, as of about 30 minutes ago, I was tracking a tornado that is in Live Oak or Lively something. Anyways, it's actually due east from here, or no, due west from here, traveling east. So basically traveling our direction. So there's going to be another line probably tonight of some chaos. So just FYI, hopefully it won't be at 5 o'clock in the morning like it was today. But yes, so the forecast for the week is Tuesday today, scattered showers, also the same for Wednesday, and then also Thursday and also Friday, because why not? The only saving grace we have is Saturday, which is the 1st, and it's going to be mostly cloudy. Then again, we get 1 day of break, and then Sunday and Monday is back to scattered showers. Thunderstorms, actually. They don't even mess around with showers.
Tornado producing weather, folks. Basically, hail and tornadoes if you live in North Texas.
Yeah, Texas translation for thunderstorms is hail and tornadoes. Yes.
Yep, hail and tornadoes.
Otherwise, it's sprinkles.
Yes, sprinkles.
And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we finally get some relief, and it starts to get 91 degrees, and we'll be pretty much in summer.
We just jump straight into Texas summer, like screw the warm up. But it's been a mild spring, to be honest. Aside from being wet and haily and windy. Real quick, there has been a change in the forecast to this evening. They have taken the rain chances out pretty much throughout the evening. It's taken down to 15%, and it doesn't go back up till 4 a.m., but it's only 30%. The real chance of showers actually starts up at 7 in the morning tomorrow morning.
Oh, just perfect timing for our commutes into work. That's awesome. Thank you, Storms.
Hopefully it's not in the high winds. We get through the traffic.
Right,
we'll see. And it's wishful thinking.
So speaking of the storms, apparently over 500,000 people are affected by power outages, and I actually talked to my stepsister, and she's been out without power since 6 a.m. They still don't have power.
Yeah, where does she live?
Out in Rowlett area.
I heard Addison has been without power for the majority of the day as well.
And so I did watch a Dallas briefing, Dallas City Hall. They basically said, you're not going to want to hear this, but anyway, I'm going to tell you, this is frustration unlimited after all.
Yeah, it'll frustrate you.
So apparently Encore says they cannot repair the lines. They have to be completely replaced. So that means that there's going to be several days without power. That's what that translates.
Where's the backup grid?
Right?
Like I refuse to believe this is the only time we've had this kind of damage weather damage in the DFW area. Like, why is? Or well, we said Rowlett.
Yeah, Rowlett.
Was still like, oh, whatever.
So they're running their refrigerators and stuff off of generator right now. Yeah. So they're having to constantly like go and refill it and all that sort of stuff.
Man, you want to see a breakdown of society? Let power go out for several days.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That affects cell towers. If you're not on a satellite link, that affects your Wi-Fi. That affects everything in your house, your food.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Your grocery stores, all that food goes bad.
And so basically what happened, for those that don't know, in certain areas of the city, they got everywhere from 95 mile an hour winds to here in Lake Dallas, we had 80 mile an hour winds, 80 to 85. I think it was the Colony got 95. They got the highest wind rating so far. So that area probably got even hit worse than our area, which I do have some pictures that I was going to try to send to my computer so that I could show you the extent of the damage. But yeah, one of the neighbors' houses was not so lucky. A tree branch, pretty sizable one, about the size of most trees, fell on his truck and his house.
That tree was big, bruh.
Yeah,
that was a big tree.
Yeah, it's taking up the whole cul-de-sac right now.
Yeah,
I feel bad for anybody trying to get around it.
Those of you who are listening, I hope you got through the damage. Hope everybody's safe. This definitely our street did look like an obstacle course this morning. That's for sure. If anybody's listening who bundled up my wood, I appreciate that. I was in meetings today. Was planning to do it tomorrow, so I walked out the door and it was all bundled up. And I'm like, okay, but thank you. I want to say I appreciate it. I'm sure I'll find out who it was eventually. But yeah, no, love my neighbors. I just gotta say that.
Yeah, no, right? Thank God for this community, I swear.
Love my neighbors.
So Dallas County was hit the hardest, apparently, with more than 300,000 outages. A disaster declaration had been signed, and officials warned the power restoration could take multiple days, especially for the critical infrastructures. So they're basically, long story short, they're going to the retirement homes and stuff like that. They're double checking because by law they have to have a generator. But then I think there was some places, some hospitals and stuff that didn't have generators. That's what they're trying to restore first, and then they'll get back to obviously the public.
That's what trips me out, man. Is there? I could have swore. Well, I mean, okay, so nursing homes. When you say understand everyone, they're I'm sure everybody here is smart enough to know they're not just your normal gas generators that you just pull and run your few appliances off of. These are gigantic fuel filled, huge, a lot of times diesel generators.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 they're diesel,
and they're freaking gigantic. They're made to run the whole entire building.
Yeah, so that basically what my question to you guys is, given the widespread impact, how were you affected by the storms? And like Ashley said that she lost power on Sunday and today, and it's flickered during trying to make dinner, I guess. So anybody else, if you got storm damage, I would love to hear about it. I tried to reach out to as many people that I knew that had houses or were like in areas that were affected to kind of, because I knew I had a couple friends that were like driving back from Memorial Day weekend and stuff like that. So I was like trying to figure out, did you drive through it, or where are you at?
I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments. I think because I don't know. Sometimes my comments aren't up to date. But anyways, yeah. I know Ray Roberts got it really rough. I know out towards Anna and is it Melissa, Texas?
Yeah, Melissa.
Anna, yeah. I know they got it rough too as well. Pilot Point and all that. I believe that's right where the tornado cut through. It was a water spout at one point.
Yeah, it was went through Valley View and Pilot Point and Sanger, parts of Sanger and stuff like that.
Which my buddy Scott actually lives in Valley View. He said it was about just a slightly north of them.
Well, you remember Gail from the lake, right? With the big it's 5 o'clock somewhere boat.
Yeah.
So apparently I found out he actually lives in an RV out by there, and so like nobody had heard from him, but we got word that he made it. And I think I think some of the boats actually. I think his is one of the boats that actually made it. Believe it or not. You
that's-
saw that
Yeah, it's
devastation.
definitely good because
Yeah.
I had pictures sent to me today of dude I work with. His friends went camping and their RV or their trailer, and I don't know if they were asleep in it. I don't know the story behind it. All I know is it literally was like flipped over. And so, like, did it happen while they were sleeping? Did they wake up to this happening? Do you
what do you do in that situation? Do you just run in your truck?
I don't know. Like me, like
I'd rather be protected by steel than fiberglass. I mean, that's just me.
I mean, it's kind of a catch-22 because if it's windy enough to blow over a trailer, you're probably gonna get windy enough to blow over your truck too. Like,
yeah, but it's my point. But if it does blow it over, you're in a steel cage that's been designed to take crash tests.
True.
Whereas an RV is not designed to do any type of
like
crash
you run
test.
the risk of going out the door and the RV getting blown over as you walk out the door.
Right.
As long as you stand right where the door is, you'll be fine. But if you're on either side, you're getting smashed. The door goes swing right back up. Well, like, hey, that's a perfect human-sized hole. But if you're off the side, man, those slide outs are going.
So what are your thoughts on the response and the communication from like the local officials and the sirens and stuff like that? Because you kind of mentioned something outside.
I don't know. I can't speak for up there.
No, I'm talking about here. Local.
Here, I was horrible.
Yeah.
Those winds came through and it sounded like the roof of my house was going to come off, and I heard zero sirens. Zero. And I know for a fact at this point, weather sirens go off for high winds, hail, tornado, and I think lightning or thunder, severe thunderstorms. It's a different alarm, but I know for a fact they go off for high winds, hail, and tornado for sure.
I mean, if the winds weren't as high as they were last night, like when it hailed for a minute too, just a FYI, I didn't know if you know.
Yeah, but the wind was taking it so far.
But here's the fucked up part. I wish I would have grabbed some of the hailstones because they weren't round. Because the wind was so intense, they were like almost like triangle, like bullets, bullets, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I'm like, dude, if I would have walked out there to try to, I get a bullet of hailstone.
Don't want to get hit by that, man. That's just no joke, man. Hey, Patrick, glad you're all right too, sir.
Yeah, glad you were all right too, because we heard it was going through Anna or heading that direction at one point. And of course, I was out of town. I was
yeah, I don't know. It went through Anna for some reason. I heard she was cheating on him and stuff. Fucked up the whole town.
So I started getting a gazillion and a half text messages on Saturday.
That was a joke, but it was a dad joke about the city, not you, Patrick.
Okay, thanks.
Just so just because you're sitting there laughing, I was like, they might have not got the context of that one.
So anyway, my phone started blowing up Saturday, and of course I was in North Carolina, but none of my friends, like only the close people that needed to know, knew. I didn't put a public disclaimer out there, but anyway, yeah. So I started getting all these messages and started getting all these storm pictures and this, that, and the other, and people thought because I usually go out to Isle de Bois, and I like a couple years in the past, I've actually spent all 3 days out on the water.
I know.
Yeah. And so like everybody's like, are you okay? Like, are you like, is your boat okay? Are you okay? You know, that whole thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. As far as my boat, I don't know, because I'm in North Carolina. I hope to God it's okay. And they start sending me the marina pictures, and then I start getting messages and stuff about, hey, is your boat in that marina? And I had to like explain to people, I'm like, no, it's in Louisville. And yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. Hearts go out to everybody out there, Ray Roberts and all that. Patrick over here playing with AI images. Yeah, Ray Roberts, Sanger.
How the hell did you get images to show up?
Just look, basically, if you were affected by the tornado, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah, for real.
It shows up on my comment feed.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's showing up on my phone, but not on the app.
I don't know.
Crazy.
There's a lot of weird things about that app. I don't even get to see how many people are watching anymore. It doesn't show me on my Facebook. No mouse.
No, you have to log into the actual app. I'd have to give you the link.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It used to show it. Like, it used to show how many people were from Facebook, even when I watched it.
Oh, yeah.
Now it doesn't anymore.
Shit.
But that's okay, man. That's okay. And
oh, it's you know what it is. I
What's
figured it out. It's because you have an Android.
Your face is
Got 'em.
Android.
Because look, right there at the top.
The fuck? Whatever happened to my shit?
You got an Android.
Just disappeared one day.
It was at that moment he realized he bought the wrong fucking phone.
Whatever. Andy's done. He won't get it. No, you won't get it. Stop it. He's the one who's not getting it. On his comments, I see it. Jesus. Anyways, that does kind of look like Patrick. That's the crazy thing,
Right?
yeah. Like, God damn it, shit. The Buffalo Bills suck again.
So speaking of winds and everything else, apparently 80-mile-per-hour winds pushed American Airlines jets away from the DFW Airport Gates, causing people to fall off and get splattered.
That is awesome.
No, it didn't really. That second part didn't really happen, but I mean, it could have. So 80-mile-an-hour winds were so powerful they pushed parked American jets away from the gates at DFW Airport. These jets, including, of course, Boeing 737, because why wouldn't they else be in the news? Weighing around.
I mean, if their doors don't work, neither do their brakes. Like, of course, they're going to be rolling across the park.
Weighing around 90,000 pounds, were moved by the gusts of wind. Fortunately, the planes were unoccupied and no injuries were reported. American Airlines is inspecting the affected aircrafts to ensure they're safe for future flights. The severe storms also caused thousands of power outages across the region and led to numerous flight cancellations at both DFW and Love Field. Has anybody experienced travel disruptions because of weather? Because I fucking certainly did.
That's right. Yeah, because you were, that Friday's when the tornadoes came through. So yeah, absolutely you did. It was a rough weekend, man. Like the way the storms came in and out. Honestly, I thought Saturday was gonna be shit.
Oh really?
Yeah, it ended up being not too bad. But yeah, no, it was. I can only imagine. Anybody else have travel problems out there? Anybody try to fly in? Anybody flying out? No. Violence, all right, that understood. I'm working too, I didn't have any time to go anywhere either.
Yeah, fortunately I did. I got to go to North Carolina. I got to go visit my cousin that has about over 100 acres in North Carolina, and actually, ironically, Dallas, North Carolina.
Makes sense. Patrick, I don't want to hear about your choking on your mains. I know what it says. But yeah, it looked like you had a good time up there while the rest of us were dodging tornadoes and fucking hail.
Well, the ironic thing is we drove through a couple areas where an F2 tornado, I think it was F2 F3, went through North Carolina, and I go, wait, you got fucking tornadoes all the way over here in North Carolina, in the woods?
Tornadoes happen everywhere.
Evidently, it used to just be in the tornado alley, but apparently now it's like there is no just alley. Like it's the whole fucking country.
Definitely not as frequent in the mountains as it is in the plains, but yeah, you find them.
But I mean, like the trees here, dude, compared to the trees there, like even
no, it's not
the tree that was taken down, that's like a shrub.
Yeah. Those trees are huge.
And I'm like, when they fall, like, yeah, it takes out shit.
Bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, y'all beware because the roofers are coming.
Yeah, if you don't already have one you're familiar with, fuck, man.
You're going to be screwed because you're going to have about 1.5 billion fucking people knocking at your door, trying to leave flyers. And
I got a sign to let them know.
I need to put my sign out.
Boy, does it let them know. And Loki will.
Yeah.
Loki will. I'll just open the door. They're like, we don't need a new roof. Sick 'em. What was that movie? Sick Balls, Chopper.
Sick Balls, yes.
Sick Balls. Anyways.
So yeah, this is a critical issue for anybody that's kind of new to the area. I'm going to kind of prepare you for it, but people like me that have been here for 20 years or more, you're used to it. The deal, and by now you probably have somebody in your pocket or a couple roofing companies in your pocket because you've probably replaced your roof a couple times already.
No.
I'm on roof number This next one will be roof number 3 since I've been here.
Jesus. Well, that's 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
That's
20 years, 3 roofs.
What link, Patrick? What are you talking about? We didn't even talk about a link. What, to the roofers? I don't know anybody. I can't post a link to a roofer. I don't know what he's talking about.
But here's the deal. With no state license required for roofers or contractors in Texas, and no mandate for workers' comp or liability insurance, you need to be vigilant on choosing someone to fix your storm damaged roof. Here's some tips to basically, help you with the process. Always be suspicious and do thorough background checks. That's number 1. Get at least 3 bids and ensure they include cleanup, because that's a lot of things people don't read the fine print, and they'll come cut your tree and they'll do whatever, but then they don't clean
Leave
it.
that shit.
Hey, leave it right there.
Good luck,
like,
bitch.
Bye. Check if the contractor is a member of a professional organization. A lot of arborists and stuff like that. I forget the name of the company, but I had a couple of them come out for my trees that I had. Beware of warning signs like offers to pay your deductible or out-of-state phone numbers. Verify all details, get everything in writing, and pay in stages. That's pretty smart, actually. Have you ever had to deal with contractors or roofers after a storm? Have you?
Yeah. But I've never had to actually go through with them because, unfortunately, those of you who may not know, and the rules may have changed, but this is a personal experience, but Allstate, most insurance companies only require 5 hail hits per face of your roof to replace that face of the roof. 5.
That's it?
5.
Wow.
5 major hits to replace a face. Allstate requires 10. And so, yeah, I didn't have a pleasant experience with them when I was insured under them. I probably will not use them again. But that's just my personal experience. I'm not going to sit here and try and badmouth the company. But yeah, I did not have the best experience with them. But yes, I have. Anybody else out there dealt with roofers?
Yeah, the first guy I worked with in real estate, and he did a pretty good job. And then he did my parents' house, and then he also did Dan's house. Well, he royally fucked Dan's house. Excuse my language. And basically he ran out, I guess, materials, and then he went to buy more, and then the second round of materials was not the same color as the first. So his roof looked like weird because it's 2 different colors.
Yep.
It was 2-tone roof.
That's that 2-tone. You get
that 2-tone, man.
Paint dripping. Sorry, go ahead.
And then the second time I got the roof, I actually had them go ahead and install gutters all the way around the house, top and bottom, because they only did, I think it was only the top before. They never did the bottom. So what was happening?
Yeah,
it would all flow to the bottom, and then the bottom would just whoosh, everywhere.
Splash.
Yeah, so I had them, add the extra, and then I had them come in and put a one of those whirly birds. I had to put that over the garage.
Yep.
But I told him, I was like, I don't want it to be visible. I was like, you're going to have to be strategic about where you place it, because I don't want it to be seen from the road. That was like my stipulation, right?
So they can put it on the backside, right?
It's on the backside.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it's black. So it matches my black roof. So you can't really tell it's even there. Don't be making no comments. I see you over there. I see you.
I'm letting it go. Letting it go.
So yeah, that was a pretty decent experience because I got a lot of things fixed. Like I learned from the first roof that like what I could ask for and what I could get in addition to. And so that's kind of what I did. Is I was like, well, I need this. This needs to happen. And a couple of my downspouts were all jacked up, so they replaced all those as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I pretty much had a new house because then I got the house painted and everything else, and it was like moving into a new place. Nice. Definitely kind of nice.
Very cool. Very cool. Yes. So roofers, here's the thing is roofers, they tell you they'll save your deductible. Okay? But it's not that they're, so yes, what they're doing technically is illegal. I agree. They can't come out and say it, but if you pay them your deductible and they find a way to put money back in your pocket at the end of it, that is just them absorbing your deductible. Are they supposed to do this? No, they overinflate the repairs so they get paid what they really want to get paid. That way they can give you that $2,500 back at the end. And sometimes they may not even do that. But that's how they quote unquote save you your deductible. They're absorbing the cost by inflating the supplement on what it actually costs to repair your stuff. So let's say,
which in the end we all suffer from, because then it inflates the insurance payouts. Which
I'll tell you I'm going to
up.
tell you the truth right now, man. There's
Yeah.
not hardly anything out there that's not going to make that happen at this point. Crooked or not, dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, I know. I just got a quote today. Actually, it's ironically you brought up Allstate, because I just got a quote. They were like, "We can insure your house, blah blah blah, for $1,900." I'm like, "My ass, you can. You can insure maybe the tortoise house in the back."
They sent me that same shit, and then they sent me the breakdown of coverage.
Yeah, they sent the breakdown.
Like,
too.
if I totaled out my home, I still end up owing like $75,000. I'm like, no, that's not the same. You can't match the fucking coverage for cheaper. Dick face, I still owe $330. You're talking about we can only cover almost was $285 or two.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was stupid. I was like
at least
I owe more, bitch.
It's like, at least know the value of, like, get on Zillow for fuck's sake. It doesn't take but 10 seconds and it'll tell you what the damn estimate is. Just use that. Don't fucking I don't know what estimate tool they're using, but it is completely wrong. Because mine was off by like 100,000, and I'm like, I'm not paying 100,000 out of pocket.
I guarantee you, if I called them back and said, hey, here's what I need coverage to be, it'd probably be within a couple $100 of what I'm paying already.
Exactly. And based on what your experience is, I'll pass on that. Because my company I have now, like, they cover everything. They've covered my flood. They've covered my roof. They're a good company, and I don't have to argue. Like, I had replaced my garage doors before I, filed the claim, and they literally were like, just give us the receipt for the garage doors. And I was like,
okay.
Would
you like them physical or email? Like, you know what I mean? Faxed. I can do that too. Like,
yeah, and like I upgraded the chain system. That was the original garage doors that make all that god awful noise. Like, mine don't make any noise or anything like that, and they're like the latest and the greatest. So like I had upgraded it while I replaced it, and obviously I upgraded to an insulated door so that it stays the same temperature. Ironically, when I had those pipes burst, those 14 pipes in my house, it was the warmest part of the house was the garage. I'm not even exaggerating, dude. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, it's 14.
Somebody get the bed.
I'm like,
out here tonight.
Right, we're sleeping in the garage tonight because it's 14 in the house and it's 38 in the garage. I'm like, something just ain't right.
No.
That's a good testament for those fucking garage doors.
Jesus. So bad. But yeah, no, that just, if they do say that they're going to save you your deductible, just understand that's what they mean. They're going to absorb it. And the really good ones that are actually going to do it for you won't come out and tell you. They'll get the job done, and they'll be like, hey, we saved you this much money, and they give it back to you. And there's basically, it's usually your deductible.
Yeah.
So as long as they get the job done, take your money from you, and if they decide to give money back, that's on them. The insurance company cannot do anything. But if they lead off by saying, hey, we'll save your deductible, keep it in your pocket, like, that's when you got to be like, okay, you don't know what you're doing.
Or explain to me how that's going to happen exactly. Yeah. You're going to write me a check for that, or how's that going to work?
That's definitely somebody doesn't know how to properly save somebody a deductible.
Right. So from roofing and storms, let's dive into barbecue, because Texas, is known for its barbecue, and so is North Carolina. And it was ironic because they were smoking brisket in North Carolina.
Oh, it wasn't the devil's lettuce?
No, it wasn't the devil's lettuce.
All right, go ahead.
And they're like, oh, yeah, but you probably got the best, barbecue in Texas, but, this is what we have in North Carolina. I was like, man, North Carolina's known for their barbecue as well. Kansas City, North Carolina, or the Carolinas, I should say.
Here's where I have an issue.
What?
I take up major issue with their fucking barbecue.
Why is it?
Those motherfuckers put coleslaw on their pulled pork sandwiches. I fucking hate it. And yes, those are strong words. I do not like fucking coleslaw, period, let alone on my fucking pulled pork sandwich. Give me onions or something.
You know who else does that? Marty B's is one of the top selling fucking barbecue sandwiches.
And they get it from and they get that shit from North Carolina. I'm like, hey, that looks great. Hold the fucking coleslaw. Keep that shit in North Carolina. Like, honestly, North Carolina, if you like their sauce, the flavor of the sauce and stuff, and the like mixes, yes, they're very, very good. Texas runs right there with them, but soon as they put coleslaw on it, I was like, fuck you, Texas is better. Couldn't help it.
So, Goldie's is a top-ranked barbecue joint founded by friends and pit masters Jalen Hurd, Johnny White, and Lane Milne.
Yes.
Opening just before the pandemic hit, they've preserved and now also run Ribbies, a new rib shack offering 4 flavors of baby back ribs and special beef rib.
So I've not made it out to Goldie's yet.
Where is Gold? It's in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I believe it's near the stockyards. I may be wrong on that.
I'm like, is it close enough to my office in Arlington? Because I will drive out there for food.
They were voted the best barbecue plate in North Texas last year or 2 years in a row or something like that. Mm-hmm. Their plate is huge for the money, and apparently the flavor is really, really good. I've heard nothing but good things about Goldie's. I've heard yet a bad word or article or anything about that place.
Well, let's dive into it. So Goldie's is renowned for its 13-hour smoked brisket and creative sides like peri-peri chicken, Brussels sprouts au gratin, and this dedication to both meat and sides earned them #1 spot on Texas Monthly's barbecue rankings in 2021, which is what you mentioned. Drawing crowds as early as 5:55 a.m. So what's your favorite barbecue spot and why?
Anybody? What's your favorite barbecue spot? Put it up. Put it in the comments if you're listening with us.
Yeah, I want to know.
I know there's some of y'all still hanging out. What's your favorite barbecue spot? And at that, what is your favorite go-to sandwich, meat, etc. for barbecue? Me personally, it's hard. I love Rudy's breakfast tacos. A lot of people don't like them because of how greasy they are. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. That's why they're in foil.
Their breakfast brisket, egg, and cheese tacos, fucking phenomenal. Hard Eights is okay. It's not bad. It's expensive for what it is. I haven't been to Hutchins yet. Hutchins, I always hear good things about.
Yeah, Hutchins.
They always sell out. That's what I always hear about.
Oh, so they're sellouts.
I mean, of their meat.
Have you been to Hurtado's yet?
No. Donna says my house and Sullivan in Louisville. Sullivan Barbecue. I'm gonna have to look.
All right. Well, thank you for that heads up, Donna. I'll definitely have to check that out.
Anybody else in the audience got their favorite barbecue spot? No, there's nobody else hanging out with us. Don't want to give us any.
Yeah, don't be shy, guys.
Yeah, don't be shy. Let the other.
I see y'all listening and watching.
Let the other audience members know. Maybe they want a place to go. Or are you guys just trying to hang out and see where to go?
Hey, Donna, do we need to have a barbecue cook-off? Because Andy's got a smoker, I got a smoker.
I am not a cook-off person. I will cook, but I'm not expecting to win anything.
It's not about the win. It's just about like having good food all in one place. I mean, we all hang out, congregate on the weekends anyway. Yeah, might as well congregate over food, right?
I'm about to have to do a pulled pork sandwich or pulled pork for work. We're doing a food drive thing, and so I'm doing a big 2 pork butts for that.
Oh, nice.
I think it's going to be 2. I mean, we're going to feed a lot of fucking people. So
that's awesome. And you're going to smoke it all?
Yeah, I'm going to smoke it, and then I'll probably break it down with a very minor amount of sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it's not saucy.
Yeah.
I'll put a little heat to it.
Right.
Little maybe a smidge of habanero.
Nice.
And then finish it off in the slow cooker.
Mm-hmm.
But not for too long because I don't want it to get like super shredded.
Oh, you don't?
And like sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe meat type shit.
Right.
Like I like to still. I mean, I've made good pulled pork that literally is like shreds.
Yeah.
I want more pulled rather than shredded this time.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I love grilling and smoking different barbecues and stuff like that. So it is like, to Donna's point, it is hard to beat your own because you make it the way you want it.
Oh, there's a lot of people that beat their own.
Yeah, and like you practice like with different seasonings and spices and stuff like that. I know I have my own secret little sauce collection that or seasoning collection that I've made over the years. So I always keep those big ass empty containers because then I can.
I make a secret sauce out of not so secret sauces. Like that's the only way I know how to really describe the shit that I make. Byrony says Bluebonnet Barbecue right outside of Ennis. Donna said neither is Jerry. We did ribs this weekend. Fingers crossed it still seals since it took a face. Oh, because of the winds, took a face plant this morning. Yeah, yeah. Like needless to say, that my barbecue and even that flap is all safe. That whatever that is over the corner of my yard.
Oh, that sail?
Tighter as could be.
That's
not
good.
stretched out, nothing.
Because I was worried about it, wind catching that shit.
Taking that fence.
There goes Danny's fence. Well, that's what my first thought was, how finicky your fence is. I was like, dude, that wind is like, Andy's probably not gonna have a fence.
I get worried about Sean's. I did get worried about Sean's got a hard top for a pontoon boat sitting up against the fence. So but I think he also said there might be a shed in front of it. So I'm kind of like, okay, that's not that big a deal.
Right.
The wind, that plastic crappy shed I got for my lawn storage and shit.
Yeah.
Sure enough, man, the wind took it off the base and moved it over.
Wow.
Like, I had to like
muscle it back over.
Jimmy, like use my hip and stuff, and like and like lift and push, and yeah, it was pretty wild, man. But anyways,
Donna says barbecue should not need sauce.
I agree, but I like barbecue sauce. I just do.
I love spicy barbecue sauce. Like I gotta have a little bit of kick to it. Like,
I agree.
Sauce to me like sets it off.
So I love steak, right? And real good steak doesn't need sauce, right?
Yep.
But I like
season it though.
I like pick a pepper. Like I'll eat a steak without sauce, no problem. If it's made right and it's got good flavor, absolutely. But if you got pick a pepper anywhere around me, I'm gonna fucking use that on the steak. Like it's not like I gotta use A1, but pick a pepper is like, if you haven't had it, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like steak sauce on steroids. And I like the flavor.
Where the hell do you even get this? I've never even heard of it.
Tom Thumb. I found it in Jamaica. That's where it's from. It's from Jamaica, but I found it at Tom Thumb and Albertsons. But the thing is like, people always talk about that though, is like, if you need to put sauce on a steak, it's not cooked right. But the thing is, what if you are a person who just likes A1? Are you only supposed to put it on your burgers? No. Hey, I'm a guy who likes A1 sauce. I like A1. I like it on all kinds of shit. So because like I put a steak in it, I'm fucking cursed now? No, I just like A1.
Nah, I just hate when because I've worked and opened and managed steakhouses, and like when I see somebody asking for Heinz and all that stuff, I'm just like going.
But you got to understand, like they may just like steak like that, dude. Now
when I worked at Hillside, I not only said your steaks suck to the cook. I said, I want to see you. I want to watch you cook them. And then his response was, "Why don't you get back here and show me how to cook it?" I was like, "Why?
Here's my $10.99."
I was like, "Why? You ain't gonna listen anyway. Yeah. You're gonna do it your way."
I need to be paid for this. Here's my $10.99. I'm on a contract for about an hour tonight.
So I did. I got him. I actually got him to cook it, and I said I'll pay for the steak, and then the manager was like, no, we'll comp this, whatever, blah blah blah, because we all wanted to taste test and all that sort of stuff. So like it caused this big huge thing, right? And of course I came from Marty B's, who has like phenomenal steaks and shit there. So anyway, I watched him cook it, dude. Like one of the things that I saw, which is the biggest no ever, is he put one of those hamburger weights or whatever, and he on a steak, and not only that, pushed it down. So what that does when you're cooking a steak, instead of keeping all that juice,
I know what it does.
Yeah, it basically turns your steak into leather.
That's the only thing you should be using that for is if you're making one of those smash burgers,
right?
Like
when I saw him use them on the burgers too, I was like, oh, dude.
Like this isn't like, so there's a burger that you get at like a diner or like a drive-in type that's a smash burger, and that's, you like that greasy, you know what, I gotta have that fast food type burger. Mm-hmm. But then there's the burger you have in a fucking restaurant that you don't fucking smash. You cook it, it's about a quarter pound or half pound, nice and pink in the middle.
Yep.
Your smash burgers, you don't get to order. You don't cook to order.
No. you get one temperature, and that's their
temperature. That shit on a steak.
Yeah. So when I watched that, I go, okay. I was sitting there like dying inside, because it's like, this is meat torture. Like this is like you're. So yeah, it was very, very frustrating. And then of course they didn't use any seasonings and stuff, and they're like, well, we don't want the seasonings to overpower the steak. I go, but you just took all the juice out of the steak.
Yeah, so it's got
no flavor. It got zero flavor.
Add flavor, please.
Yes, there needs to be some flavor.
But yeah, like a steakhouse, and stuff, like I don't put anything on their steaks.
No.
Like that steak, that Wagyu I had in fucking Vegas, there was no oh, can I have some pickled pepper? Like, no, I'm dipping this in the juices it came with because it's so fucking good.
All right, so Byrony said Blue Bonnet barbecue
Yep.
for her out of Ennis. Man, I haven't tried that one yet. Or I haven't. Shit, I need to go to Ennis apparently. Let's see. Ashley said, I love Risky's barbecue, Longoria's barbecue, and Hickory Stick barbecue. Longoria and Hickory are the ones that are my childhood places. Both are in Everman and have been there for decades. Wow, it must be pretty good if it's been there for decades.
Greasy Spoon Diner. Okay, I'm aging myself. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up too. It sounds interesting. It sounds like a great place to go with a hangover.
She does say that, good barbecue doesn't need sauce, but what if you make the barbecue with like chicken? Like if I do drumsticks, I literally get out the brush and I baste them like every 10 to 15 minutes so the sauce actually cooks into the drumstick.
Skin and the meat. Yeah.
Like, I'm probably guilty of getting some sauce and still dipping it anyways because I love barbecue sauce. Like
I do too, man.
You're not gonna get me away from that. I don't care what you say. Yes,
I mean, I put barbecue sauce on my pizza, and I know I'm probably gonna get some shit for this, but like, I legitimately love spicy barbecue sauce. And there's one that's made by, God, what is it? Dave's Insanity Sauce or something like that. He makes a super hot barbecue sauce that
you would eat some
that only I could probably eat. But then there's
like habanero ghost reaper. Like
then there's the Sweet Baby Ray's. Their new sweet hot or whatever. It's
sweet and spicy.
Yeah, sweet spicy. Yeah, that's fire.
I got one you might like. It's spicy chipotle. It's pretty good. It's not your heat level, but I think you'd like the kick on it. That one, it's Baby Ray's.
So when I think of Chipotle, like I obviously think of Chipotle, the restaurant, but those burritos, dude, like if you eat their burritos, are good. Don't get me wrong. And if you get the whatever, the bowl or whatever,
that's how you cheat the system.
It needs, yes, I know, and I'm pretty good at it. 3 days worth of food. Anyway, their Chipotle sauce on their Chipotle burritos or the the bowls or whatever is like phenomenal. So that's the only thing I use that on. So when I think of Chipotle or any of the seasoning, I think of burritos. I think of
Oh, so Chipotle's got like that. It's like a smoky pepper flavor.
Yes.
Yep. And Baby Ray's makes a spicy Chipotle that's really good, really fucking good.
That's awesome. I'm definitely have to try it.
Anyway, so yes, so we got a lot of good suggestions for barbecue. Some good places we might have to check out now that we've got a bunch of places listed in the. Patrick never called in either. What happened?
I don't know. I sent him the link.
Yeah, we posted a link, brother. But yeah, maybe somebody saw him watching and said, "Don't you get on that show?"
Could be. So speaking of barbecue,
yes,
customers' shocking experience with Dickie's barbecue pit, which is funny because I was waiting.
Really,
I was waiting for somebody to say Dickie's. You notice how nobody mentioned Dickie's at all? An outrageous response to a complaint. This shocking story involves a local female named Destiny Marie, a customer of Dickie's Barbecue Pit in Kaufman, Texas, which I don't know if that's over.
Kaufman.
I think that's over by Ashley-ish. After having a terrible experience with the service, Destiny reached out to the restaurant to give them a chance to make it right. Instead of an apology, she received an insult and profanity to the fact that, I'll get into it. To make matters worse, the person who sent the message publicly outed himself, harassed Destiny, and even threatened her business. Yeah, that's how intense this got.
So this was a customer that did this?
No, this is the Dickie's general manager reacting. So to make matters worse, the person who sent the message publicly, so the GM, publicly outed himself and then harassed Destiny, which is the customer, and even threatened her business. So she has her own business, and he went after her business.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so the police were called, and action is being taken. And here's the best part. Although Dickie's National reached out and offered her a $100 gift card, which was declined.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is good. This is good. This is why I pulled it.
Oh, shit.
Which was declined in favor of a refund. The situation remains unresolved as Destiny has no intention of returning. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like, have you ever experienced something similar? And how do you think the business should have handled the complaint and the feedback? And I think the latest update on this, he has been fired.
I should fucking hope so.
Dude, but it took like almost a week. It took like 4 or 5 days.
Well, that's the problem with HR these days. This was in Texas. So it's at Will State. They could have canned them immediately if they wanted.
Yeah,
to.
that's my whole point.
Well, then they have to worry about unemployment though. If they
Yeah.
can, there is that. Yeah, what do y'all think about that? Have y'all ever had experience about that, or what are your thoughts on this? I think $100 is a slap in the fucking face.
Yeah,
I would have been like, bitch, I'll see you in court. y'all, this is I've got pain and suffering. I'm going to see a counselor. I don't know if I can get up tomorrow and face the day. Right. Your employee made me scared to go to my work. I'm afraid for my business. Like, yeah, I'd milk it. Anybody got any kind of experience like that, or what you think about that? Because I'm going to ask a question on once we get some answers on this too. I got a question for y'all too. It's barbecue related.
All right, so I posted up on the screen right now. I don't know if you can see it, Andy. It says good. This is from, and obviously you can see it's branded. It says Dickey's Barbecue Pit. It says
wow. He sent it from their page.
No, this is her sending to her. So she's on the right. He's going to be on the left. So she says, "Good evening. Not the message or review I had hoped to send. Ordering eating here for the first time, and on top of that, went on a whim as a single mama treating herself and kiddos for Mother's Day weekend. I ordered curbside online. Arrived 8 minutes after my order. Young man came outside and informed me that my meal had been changed. One of my items were sold out, and one of my meats as well. Okay, I changed them and moved on. Arrived home, and my son's side was missing, and the roll was missing from the plate. And let's see. Where is it at?
Is that the picture of the meal or something?
Yeah, so we're getting into that one.
Yes.
She arrived home, blah, blah, blah. Drove back to the restaurant, received the macaroni, and was told the rolls are sold out. Okay. Finally made it back home. My food was cold. Had to microwave it. Went to drink the tea, and it had a flying dead bug laying on top of the ice. And so the picture is of the flying bug or whatever that landed on her ice. And then, hold on. Why is it taking so freaking long to load? Here we go. And then if you want to, I don't know if you can read it.
Nope.
Okay. So Dickey's responds, the cup looks cleaner than that dirty ass effing table. And you can see like the comment on the left. I'm like, that's an Andy response. That's not a corporate business response. So that's why I had to pull it, because I was like, oh my God, that's something Andy would say.
Wow. I mean, that's clever. That's clever, but that is not what Andy would respond if he was risking his job. That I totally love where they went, but honestly, a table doesn't look that dirty.
I know. I'm looking at him like, that's a tablecloth, dumbass.
Like, please, what dirt? Your definition of dirt is obviously not mine. So, since everybody's quiet on the experience or what should happen, does anybody, since we're talking about barbecue, if you had to pick a chain barbecue, like not one that's like, like 50-50 or Hutchins or like Hard 8, if you had to pick like a chain barbecue across the country, what would you pick? Like Dickey's, let's say like Dickey's. I would pick Spring Creek.
Yeah, dude. Spring Creek, man, after all these years, it's consistent.
It's not bad.
It's always consistent. And their sauce it's
pretty solid.
Yeah, and then the rolls, man. The rolls
dipped in the sauce.
Yes, in the sauce. That's the shit.
Rolls dipped in the sauce.
That is the secret.
Spring Creek got to be hands down chain barbecue, absolute favorite.
Yes, definitely.
And it's because the rolls have a lot.
Oh, dude, those rolls just fucking melt.
And then of course their chants they do when they pull out a hot brisket. Hot brisket on the board, chopping up. Buc-ee's does it also. They do they'll pull out a brisket and they'll make up a song or something, and they like somebody's hot brisket on the board, and everybody be hot brisket and chop 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 chop. Hey, and like
make a production out of it.
Like, oh, you guys scared the shit out of me, but hey, it's cool. Why are you yelling at the meat?
So here's all the replies. So the owner guy, apparently this is his personal,
oh my God.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm being roasted by the whole cast of Honey Boo Boo.
What the fuck?
And Destiny, you're mad because what you started, make it make sense. Oh, you're mad because of what you started. Make it make sense. Okay, there's some punctuation missing.
Yeah, yeah. When you go live with your shit,
Yeah,
you need to make sure punctuations.
yeah, because it loses its impact. So the manager now he's now messaging her from his personal account. If you haven't noticed, it's no longer under Dickie's. He said, "I ain't got to make shit make sense. We were talking shit, roasting each other. Want to bring my wife and family into it? That's a whole different level." Yeah, I'm like, wait, what?
What do you mean you were roasting each other? I sent you a true complaint,
Right?
and you like talked about my dirty table. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, okay, all right.
And then so Destiny says, "You brought my family into it first. What the fuck you mean? You, the hopeless, kind of special. You need to stop contacting me, and you better not step foot on my place of business. Authorities have been notified, amongst others." And so then, like, now you got other people chiming in. Yet in her messages, she was being calm and collected and explaining what her issue was. And the response she got back was mortifying to see from any customer service role. Doesn't matter what her table looks like. She expected good service from a business and was not given it. Yeah,
Bro, like, of course he gonna be out of job. How you gonna just say stuff and not expect to get?
I like the very last line. It says, "She wasn't even a Karen about it." You know what I mean? Because like usually when people complain, it's like, yeah, she's Karen. Hold on, let's see. Okay, so Destiny is basically commenting, "Y'all, this is the guy that got fired." And this dude is still going on. Apparently, I guess he got fired at this point. And she said that was very far-fetched, and it wasn't a fruit fly. It was a crunchy. It was crunchy when I had to pull it out. Fruit flies are soft and small. And nope, that's the whole picture. And it wasn't in the, or it was in the messages. But I do hope you feel better after exercising your thumbs all day. Keyboard warrior.
She should have just quit. She should have quit responding to him.
Yeah.
Number one.
Number
two, like, I don't give a fuck if it's a fruit fly or not. It's still a bug in my drink.
Right? It doesn't belong in my fucking drink.
Like, I'll be like, you're missing the point, homie. I don't care what kind of bug it is. It's the fact that there's one in there.
Yes, I know. That's the fucked up part. But somebody roasted that guy, said, "Okay, bro, your whole head looks like a damn pizza box. So let's simmer down on talking about my cousin like that. She expected good service from a restaurant like any paying customer would, and yet received bugs in her drink, disrespected her messages, and being respectful to the business and missing food." Yeah, so what are y'all thoughts? Like, have y'all ever experienced some shit like this?
Donna said yes on all points, so she agrees. Not enough compensation. Person should have got fired. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't put stuff like this on social media and not expect the company to give you repercussions, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if it takes a week or 2 days. Like, you don't do that and just be like, "Oh, I'm immune."
Well, you remember that day that that our podcast went live on my company page.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got reprimanded. I got written up for that. So, like, and that wasn't even like a bad thing. It was like, it wasn't like I was posting, you know, derogatory or anything like that. Statements.
AI was mad at you that day.
Apparently. But yeah, like, still to this day, we have no idea how it went live because they're two totally separated. So.
We got a lot of listeners that night.
I know, and it sucks. Because probably half of them were for my work.
I mean, we weren't out of hand.
No, we weren't. We were actually really good that night, ironically. All right, man. I got the age-old question, since it's technically it's Taco Tuesday, right? Is a taco a sandwich?
No.
Okay.
I'll argue that till the cows come home.
Let's dive into the culinary debate that everyone's been talking about. Are tacos sandwiches? On May 13th, an Indiana judge ruled that tacos are Mexican-style sandwiches, sparking a nationwide debate. But true aficionados know that a real Mexican sandwich is called a torta.
Torta. Yeah.
A versatile dish with nearly endless variations, like fucking Taco Bell.
It's a fucking Mexican sandwich.
Yeah.
God damn it. It's what it is. It's not a Crunchwrap Supreme. Tacos are not fucking sandwiches, man.
Yeah, so like, I forget the case of why this was even brought up to begin with. But I know there were some lawsuits over Taco Tuesday, like the trademark of that name. which I noticed that the new Taco Bell ads. Kudos to you, Taco Bell, for finding a way to circumvent that by spelling it TWO, Taco Tuesday. So instead of it spelling it TUES like you normally spell Tuesday, they spelled it TWO. Yeah, SDAY. Fucking brilliant.
I'm get too. No, they're not sandwiches. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That resembles no way, shape, or form a sandwich. Tortas are you use fucking bread to make them.
Well, hold on.
Bread.
By definition, a sandwich is a bread followed by meat followed by bread. What is a taco? Bread, tortilla. Meat, bread.
It's not bread.
It's just one's horizontal and one's vertical.
One's two pieces, one's one thing, and it's like a folded thing.
So that's my argument, is that the one is actually two pieces and one is one solid piece.
Like if I get a piece of peanut butter or a piece of bread and put peanut butter on one side and fold it in half, I'm not having a sandwich. I'm still having half a sandwich.
Yes, what he said.
Taco is not a half a sandwich, so I couldn't even say it in that. Like, I understand, like, it's making sense in my head and not y'all's out there.
Like most things.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's still not a sandwich. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all. I don't think tortillas are, I mean, I get it's a grain, but I don't, to me, it's not bread. That's not bread. Until you get those, like, flat breads, and it's called flatbread. Fuck,
it's man. Literally in the name.
Like maybe a chalupa. I feel like a chalupa has more of an argument to be a sandwich than a taco because at least those taco shells are fluffy.
Yeah, are a little.
They're poofy.
They're poofy.
They're bouffant. No, but I'm just saying they have more qualifications than a taco does.
Right. No, I agree 100%.
Fuck, man. What do you think, audience?
I never even thought. I know that was literally my next question. Thank you, Ashley. Is a calzone a sandwich then? By their definition, it's
that's bread. That's motherfucking bread.
Stuffed with, yeah.
So that's bread.
That's stuffed bread.
Torta, Spanish. Calzone, Italian. like, yeah, that's bread. I'm sorry, you're with the taco. You're really wrapping something unless it's a hard shell. You're filling something. But yeah. you do fill the taco shell with meat.
With meat.
Lettuce and cheese too. Kind of gross.
Sometimes you put a little sour cream on the
sour cream. Sour skeet. I mean, yeah. Sour skeet. Damn it! Stop. But no, yeah, I'm. The jury's out on that one. What do you think, audience? Do you think a taco can be considered a sandwich? And in that same likelihood, what's better, the taco or the chalupa? More likely to be a sandwich. What do you think? Chime in now. Let us know your thoughts. We might even shout you out. I don't like we have been already.
Hey, we totally encourage audience participation.
Man, do you have any celebrity news going on? Because I've got one that's really crazy.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I don't have any.
Let me see what the audience says about the sandwich thing first. I want to leave that.
Well, you can go ahead and we can.
I want to leave that brainchild out there for a second. Our taco sandwiches. I'm sure Patrick would have an opinion, but he ditched out and didn't want to come on the show. He's like,
know.
Send me the link, but I'm not going to show up. Anybody going to chime in? Anybody on YouTube or anything or Twitch commenting about sandwiches and tortas and shit? Because I can't see over here. What about on your screen?
What's that?
Anybody else?
No, I don't see
other platforms?
Nope.
No, but man, nobody's got an opinion.
Man, I keep getting these more and more like people messaging me storm pictures and shit. Now I got some from across over there. Not the colony. What's that one that's over to the left?
Your mom's house.
Yes.
I mean, no,
that's
the left.
One.
Which way?
So if you cross over the bridge, that's
like going
the colony.
Which bridge? Oh, going towards the colony.
Going towards
Little
the colony.
Elm?
You take a left right after you pass that bridge. I think it's El Dorado. Like you take a left on El Dorado.
Yeah, that's all a Little Elm area going up in that way though.
No, but it's called something else. That area over there. Anyways,
Santana.
No, Lantana's the other direction.
No,
that's over by my parents.
I said Santana.
Oh, Santana.
Crossroads.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so my friend just sent me some stuff from Crossroads, and it shows like a tree about the size of the one that was on top of two cars.
I have a bad feeling my tree in front of my house is going to come down before the summer's over, or at least have a major impact on something. But yeah, no. Moving right on along to this is kind of an eye-opening fucking story to me. I think it's fucking stupid. So, and this is the headline: Ohio billionaire taking new sub to Titanic site 1 year after implosion. Yeah, so riding down there in a tin can with PlayStation controllers wasn't dangerous enough to do it once. We're doing it again, Devin.
I can't believe it. That's like, you failed the first time. Like, what?
A billionaire is diving to Titanic depths in a deep sea submersible to reassure those wary last year's Ocean Gate incident. The watercraft industry is safer than ever. Seriously. Real estate investor Larry Connor from Dayton, Ohio, is set to dive over 12,400 feet. That's actually 2.3 miles underwater to the infamous Titanic shipwreck site in a brand new $20 million two-person submersible alongside Triton Submarines co-founder Patrick Leahy. So is 20 million, I'm assuming, is more than what they spent on the tin cans they went to in the first time. I mean,
basically, let's not get it twisted. It was basically a burrito, since we're going on the taco theme.
Yeah.
It was a burrito underwater.
I really hope they're not using freaking aftermarket PlayStation controllers for this again. Like,
I mean, at least get the DJI goggles, where you can like look around and shit.
Well, Connor hasn't disclosed the exact timing of the expedition. He assures the vessel, dubbed the Triton 4000/2 Abyssal Explorer. That's a fucking mouthful.
Right?
You need to go ahead and come up with an acronym for that, or abbreviation, is designed for repeat voyages to the Titanic site. Connor told the Wall Street Journal, Patrick had been conceptualizing the vessel for over a decade. So what the fuck happened with the other one? Why didn't they conceptualize that one for over a fucking decade?
Well, that's probably the problem, is they conceptualized it instead of building it and testing it.
The reason it took so long is because they had to wait for the perfect combo of materials and tech to bring the vision to life. But the last one, they were like, you know what? Fuck it. These are cool.
They probably made the last one out of paper mache, dude.
Yeah, we'll just throw this together. It's going to work. Don't worry. He says last year's Titan sub disaster served as a catalyst for them to finally take action and construct a superior sub. So people's lives going down there in the first place. We had to kill some people to realize, oh man, we should spare no cost. Like,
right?
What the fuck?
Oh man.
And
that's so fucked up, man. It's like we're exploring space and shit, but yet so much of our ocean, which 80-90% of the freaking Earth is covered in water, is unexplored. Like, we're discovering species all the damn time.
Yeah, we're discovering species that we've already polluted.
Oh yeah, we already killed. We're discovering them because we killed them.
We're there already. Look down, find microplastics in the Mariana Trench. We're there, and we haven't even been there.
So. I know, that's the sad part.
So he's saying their end goal is to demonstrate the journey can be done safely. Well, you know what? I hope you don't eat your fucking words, dude. Y'all should have put this time and effort into the last sub that went. I want to show people worldwide that while the ocean is extremely powerful, it can be wonderful and enjoyable and really kind of life-changing if you go about it the right way. In other words, don't fucking get in a tin can with a PlayStation remote and dive fucking 2 miles under the sea.
Yeah, it's easy. It's that simple.
You'll remember in June last year, Ocean Gate sub imploded. The fact that it's called Ocean Gate, like, should have all given us the fucking...
Haven't we learned that anything with the gate...
Deflate gate, water gate, like...
Bend gate, the Apple phone. Anything with a gate is bad.
Wasn't there something gate with the Texas power grid or something? Like, when we...
Yes.
Wasn't there something around that, too? Like,
yes, there was. I can't remember what it was.
But you'll remember in June of last year, it imploded, blah, 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 blah. Among those on board who perished, we already know, was Paul Henry, I don't know how to say his last name, Hamish Harding, and Shahajda Dawood Solomon. Rest in peace. Don't mean to disrespect the names to the fallen. But I can't pronounce them right. But yeah, so I don't know. While it might seem foolhardy to go down there again, another 10-figure dude wants to do it. All we can say is good luck. Good luck, bitch.
I just don't get, like, what is the value? Okay, you can see it. You know what? I can go take a fucking camera drone submarine and not cost anybody's lives and do the same effect
because you're not seeing it. You're still seeing it in a fucking camera.
In a lens, you still have a piece of glass between you and it.
There's no glass. That's what I'm saying. There's no windows in these subs, dude.
Oh, well,
there are strictly fucking cameras on a screen.
Oh, that's stupid. Just send one without people.
That's what
Why
I'm
do you
trying
need
to tell
people?
You
you don't need people.
I'm almost positive there's no glass on these.
This is so stupid. Yeah, because if there was, I mean, it'd have to be thick as hell.
Yep. And the way that they'd have to seal it would be just absolutely insane.
Just don't let Boeing have any part.
Yeah, don't let Boeing build any of this.
No hatches, no doors.
Boeing might have had a hand in designing the other one.
You know what? Truth be told, might be onto something, bro. Might just have started a conspiracy.
Be careful. You're gonna wake up unalive tomorrow.
I know, right?
How do you wake up unalive?
I don't think you wake up on that, sir.
No. Do you wake up?
No.
It's like being late to your own funeral. Get it? Because you're late. Funny.
What else you got?
Nothing. Some dude got in San Diego police officer accidentally locked himself in the backseat of his patrol car with a accidentally locked himself in the backseat of his patrol car with a female suspect after she propositioned him to have sex, leading to his resignation and amid an internal investigation, and now has become public. He accidentally got locked in the back seat with somebody, said, you know what, I'm down. Literally said, I'm down to fuck. And somehow he found himself in the back seat of his patrol car. This was in San Diego, folks. This is, I got nothing against.
Wait, it's not Florida?
No, I mean, it does fit the bill, right? No disrespect to the cops, but ladies, this is your boys in blue doing this. I mean, I don't know. If he's single and he's not married and doesn't have any kids, good for him. If he is, shame on you, you bastard. You shouldn't be hurting people like that, especially in that point of position. But look, if some girl's like, hey, I'll give you some, if you let me go, and it keeps her out of jail, I understand. I get it. If she finds the cop attractive,
Yeah, but there's something about Law and Order. You ever heard of that?
Law and Order, as far as what though? Well, I mean, I get. You're right. As far as the
derelict of duty, yeah, there's all sorts of.
But and somebody could say, well, he was using his position of power. Well,
exactly.
Someone could say that she was using her vagina of power.
I think Prince had a song about that, didn't he? Yes, exactly.
It's like a Jedi mind trick to some people. Like that cop's trying to, he's single. He ain't seen anybody in a couple months. And it's he might be arresting a drunk hot girl or something. And she's like, I'm down, fuck. And he's like, you know what I ain't had in a little bit. I ain't had my dick sucked in a while. She's like, I'll let you keep the cuffs behind my back. And then he's all sort, and he's like, fuck, man, this is a once in a lifetime, like I said, if he's not single, if he's married and has kids, asshole.
Right.
Dick face. But if he's single and he wants to risk his career and he's got nothing to lose, that's on him. If he wants to be a dick bag, doesn't mean we got to know him, right? You know what I mean? He's not patrolling my streets.
Right. So going back to Boeing and airlines and stuff like that. So I was at the North Carolina airport, right? And got there, 2 hours early, typical thing. And, checking on the flight status and this, that, and the other. And it's like the plane that's supposed to arrive had to make a unscheduled departure in some other state or something. I think it was Virginia, actually. And then, so it was delayed. extensively, and then it was delay after delay. And so, of course, like everybody's phone batteries and everything else, because they're like checking the flights on their, phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's phone's going dead, right? So you know how they have those power stations in the airport?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was such a pain.
Wouldn't you know, every single USB port is broken because people don't know how to fucking plug in and pull straight out. They're like, they grab the cord and just go. Andy, you look guilty over there. Looks like you've done that a time or two.
Your whole line of verbiage just was begging for double entendre.
Oh, okay, guys.
I was trying to let it.
You were holding the inner kid in.
They put it in. They just pull it out without any kind of it happens. Like,
you can't just go pulling out all willy nilly. Like,
no,
that's
man.
the thing. You got to pull with firm grip, 2 hands, preferably.
You got to finesse it.
Sometimes you got to wiggle a little bit, and then you got to pull directly out.
You go up and then you make the.
Yeah,
you go
you
around. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not finishing this thing.
So anyway, I go through my bag because I still have my my camera bag, which has 5 million things that need to be charged in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a charge hub, and it's a quick charge hub because when you have a MacBook, they only I think the minimum is like 150 watts. So like your normal USB-C won't charge it, won't do shit, right? So I bought this badass like block that has literally I think 8 different charge ports in it. They're all quick charge. Several of them are USB-C, and then there's like 3 or 4 that are USB-A, which is like the old schools, So anyway, so I plugged that in, and like I see this older lady next to me, and she's like franticking because I think she had like hearing aids or something, and like they were going, like batteries were going dead, and because it was like midnight at that point. So I see her and I'm like, hey, if you want to use this, because she's like trying to plug shit in, right? And every single one she plugs it in doesn't work. So I see her, I was like, hey, do you want to use this? And then I was like, I'm looking around, I was like looking for other people that are, trying to do the same thing. I was like, I got extra ports if you guys need them. Like, this is a quick charger, so it's going to charge it a hell of a lot faster than the normal.
You have extra what? Everybody can use your ports, huh?
Charge ports. Thank you for those innuendos, Andy.
Decent figure, huh?
I forgot where I was at.
Got to bring you back to reality.
And so we start talking and stuff, and God, I can't even remember. Oh, she said she was she had another flight, or Dallas was her last stop, or whatever, blah blah blah, that she had come from Florida. And I was like, oh yeah, so we started talking about Florida and stuff, and then we got to talking about that she used to live in Texas, and that she used to live in like the Fairview area. And so then we got started talking about Fairview and stuff, and how it's grown, and like how I loved it when I first went out there.
The older lady?
The older lady, yeah. So I kind of gave you kind of an overview when we were out at the pool yesterday, but like now I'm going to go into the details because it's going to bring up topics that we can talk about, because it was actually pretty cool. And things that I didn't even think of that this older lady was like telling me about. And I was like, damn, I never really thought about that.
Ashley said, I will clip that extra port.
Thanks, Ashley.
Yeah.
Nice. What happens when my mouth starts going and brain's not keeping up.
Yeah.
It's not keeping up to what the innuendos would be.
Like, I'm interested in what that mouth do. Sorry.
So anyway,
what that mouth do.
So we start talking and everything, and then I was like, I happened to ask her, I was like, oh, because they were starting to do the pre-boarding and stuff like that, and I was like, so what group are you? And she says 1, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm group 1. And I was like, by chance, what seat do you have? And she's like 1C, and I was like, oh, I'm 1A. As I was like, you're probably on the other side, and I was like, I'll wave to you or whatever, because we're gonna be on the same row. Well, we start to board the plane, and lo and behold, I'm sitting next to her. So they do A, C, and then D, E, or some shit like that. So I don't know why they do that, but that's the way they decided to do it. So we ended up sitting next to each other. And the more we talked, the more like it was kind of crazy, like the parallel lives that we've had from like owning businesses. And then also she retired from the advertising marketing field, which is exactly what I do.
Oh, yeah? Did she buy a bunch of stuff that she has to put up in her attic?
Shut the fuck up, Andy. So we start talking and stuff.
Yes. All right, go ahead.
And one of the things, like, we started talking about politics, we started talking about, and it was like, the things you don't ever talk to anybody about, but like we were just testing the level of comfort between the two of us. It's like, okay, let's see how she responds to this, and let's see how she responds to that. And like, I mean, we literally talked about the wars going on and this, that, and the other. And one of the things she brought up, because we started talking about Boeing, right? So
as we're on a plane,
we're on an Airbus. Let me correct. So we're in an Airbus, and so this is what started the whole airplane conversation. We open up, the little trays that fold out, so you put your drink on. There's this flap that has like a little thumb hole that you grab and you move and lift up and down.
Yep.
And so I even asked the stewardess or whatever that was coming around. I said, "Hey, do you know? Like, we're trying to figure out what the fuck does this thing do? Because it's like you can't put a drink on it; it'll fall on the floor."
Yep.
And so I was like, so I said, she goes, "Oh, it's so you can put your phone and you can change the angle of the screen or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, really?" So I put my phone there, and literally the phone just goes falls to the ground. She goes, "I don't know." She goes, "Honestly," she goes, "I hate these planes." And I was like, going, "What?"
Hey, Molly, thank you for tuning in.
Hey, what's up, Molly? So I'm like going, wait a minute, this chick hates Airbus. And I'm like going, oh boy. I was like, so then we start talking about that. And so she brings up pilots, and she was like, what's crazy is that like pilots, no matter if they don't want to fly a Boeing airplane because of all the stuff that's going on, they don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and it's kind of messed up that you have these unions and everything else that are supposed to protect you and that sort of thing, but yet the pilots don't really have a say and they don't really have a voice. So she was like basically saying that the pilots need to have their own personal union that represents just them, which I don't know if that exists or not. I mean, to me it seems like a no-brainer, but it's not something that I ever experienced, so it's not something I ever thought of or wasn't on my radar.
Mm-hmm.
But then when she mentioned that, I was like, dude, that's freaking brilliant. One of the other things she mentioned, and this is actually ironically the reason why I'm bringing this whole story up, because it goes back to that Dickie story about customer service. She goes, that's the one thing that's missing in like every industry is customer service. Like, and that's why I brought the story up, because I wanted to hear like everybody else's customer story, horrific stories, that you've experienced.
It's not just customer service. Here's the shitty thing about it.
What's that?
It's fucking humanity.
Yeah, well,
like people are not like, I get customer service. You're right, but like you have to be a decent human to give proper customer service. You know what I mean? So it's not just that community or customer service is disappearing, but humanity's fucking disappearing. People, like, there's no way that dude. There's no Labatt flu. There's
Labatt's. Hello, Labatt. Expect the best.
Expect Canadian crap. But anyways, there's no way that dude, obviously. There's no way he just thought he wasn't going to get found out. But the fact that he could do that and then go and blast like that.
Oh, I know, right?
Like, that's not just not customer service. That's being a shitty human being. That's not just fucking being a bad representative of fucking Dickies. You just fucking suck at being a person. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is. Customer service has taken a huge fucking turn. You're absolutely right. Hey, do you remember Sean Kingston? Your way, beautiful girl. So I don't know. I know he's kind of gone broke over the last several decades.
Wait,
whenever
did he go woke?
No,
because
broke.
if you go woke, you go broke.
No, he just went broke because he doesn't know how to spend money. He was hanging with Bieber, and Bieber had way more money than him. Anyways, he just got hit with 10 felony charges in a fraud case, in fraud and theft case. Excuse me. He jacked nearly $500,000 in jewelry.
What?
Yeah, dude. When he gets back to Florida, he'll be facing a mountain of charges. Claim that so the claim is his mother racked up around $1 million worth of merch without paying for it. Trying to see where this was at. According to the arrest warrant issued in Broward County, the singer is facing up to a total of 10 charges related to the raid sheriff's deputies conducted last week, with the biggest one being an alleged organized scheme to defraud several companies. And so, mind you, she went to jail when his career was right before his career got big. His mom went to jail for felony drug possession and I can't talk tonight. Distribution of narcotics.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude. So he's
So why is he in trouble if his mom did this? I'm confused. Explain to me.
Well, they're both involved in this.
Oh, okay.
So in the docs, authorities say that Sean and his mother, Janice Turner, ripped off a jeweler, an exotic car dealer, and several other businesses for well into six figures. For instance, the car dealer allegation is over a Cadillac Escalade. An Escalade, $159,000. Whose fucking Escalade is it? It has to be bulletproof. Right. Anybody who pays $160,000 for an Escalade, you suck. It's coming from me. And the jewelry was worth a whopping $480,000 on top of that.
Oh wow.
He's also facing grand theft charge for an $86,000 piece of furniture. Apparently it was a custom bed. Other charges related to defrauding banks and writing bad checks. His mom is facing a total of 8 charges compared to his 10.
Wow.
Apparently this motherfucker's on probation too while he's doing all this. So it's a probation violation too as well.
Wow.
He was on, and you know what he's on probation for?
What?
Trafficking stolen property.
Are you
like this motherfucker got out the game and said, I'm not making money anymore. I'm gonna go straight back to fucking Acton Hood.
You know what? Are you done with that story?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a good segue. Somebody who got out the game, but actually got out the game for the right reasons instead of this guy getting out the game for the wrong reasons is Terrence Howard. And this is the one. This is what I wanted to talk to you about.
Smart guy.
Yes.
Yep.
So, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but there's been a lot going on with Cat Williams outing a bunch of people. There's also been Terrence Howard now is coming out and the stuff the level of stuff that he's talking about, it literally has to be dissected in chunks just so you can understand it. Because if you watch the whole Joe Rogan podcast, which I know I'm cross promoting, but
who gives a shit? Go Joe fans, okay?
Yeah. So the interesting thing is he's so brilliant, and you never in a million years would have known that he has a brain behind his acting skills and stuff like that, because
super smart.
Yeah, he's super intelligent. And now because of his intelligence and because of that podcast, there's people out, and this is a conspiracy, this is a thing that's happening right now. There are people out that are trying to basically discredit him. There's people out that are trying to basically come up with fake, P. Diddy's situation, like Bill Cosby's and all the stars, right? They're trying to basically railroad him now because and it literally happened the day after that podcast aired.
Yeah.
But now everybody's like, we need to save Terrence Howard. So we need a petition, figure out a way to save one of the good ones.
So
because he is unbelievably he's beyond Einstein smart. That's how.
And he's not woke.
And he's not woke.
Because he's smart.
Yeah, I mean, he's just real. He's the real deal. He literally is telling shit that it really makes you question things. 1 × 1 = 2. But we've been taught throughout school 1 × 1 = 1. But he's literally, if I have...
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
If I have one vape and I got 2 vapes, multiply them, I still have 2 vapes.
Yeah.
I didn't just magically lose one. And I'm like, he's absolutely
I saw that clip.
right.
I saw that clip.
Yeah.
He was talking about it. I was like, man, I get what he's saying, but
and did you hear the thing about the no straight lines?
No.
That was fascinating.
I did hear how
really
he kind of pushed back against old Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
Tyson deGrasse.
Yeah, they battled. I don't know. I didn't get to watch it yet. I think it aired yesterday or today.
He pushed back on something with him. Neil tried to tell him something. He's like, if you look at it this way.
Mm-hmm.
He's
and that's why I'm just being honest. I don't like Neil deGrasse. I watched him a few times, but then there were so many times that I'm like, somebody's lining your pocket, and I'm out.
Yeah, but he's arrogant. He's got a lot of arrogance to him.
He does, and I don't like it. It's not. You're not being a scientist at that point. You're pushing your own beliefs and your own agenda.
The shitty thing about scientists,
he was one of the people that said UFOs and stuff don't exist, and there's no way they can exist. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like when he said that, I was like, you're a moron.
The thing I saw is that he doesn't believe that they visited us because we would have had a clear photograph by now. Like one of
and that statement alone. Hold on. That statement alone shows the level of idiocracy, because I can literally debunk that in a nanosecond. When you go hunting, what do? What's the first thing you do?
I spray piss on myself.
Right. Why do you do that?
So I can attract female deer so I can shoot him in the face.
Thank you. What else do you do?
Be quiet.
What do you wear?
Camouflage.
Thank you. We're a lower level species than something that can travel intergalactically, right?
Maybe that's
we have camo so that deer can't see us. You don't think for a fucking second they have camo that we can't see them?
That's why they're going. They're coming out of Skinwalker Ranch. They're coming out of the portal.
Mm-hmm.
They look like giant direwolves.
Well, and here's the other fucked up thing. So if I drove you to Colorado, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know where we were, didn't know like that we were going to Colorado or anything, and you said, "Oh, look, there's the mountains." But what if I drove you to Colorado and I blindfolded you? You wouldn't know that there was mountains. So we rely mostly 90% on our eyesight. And that's the scary thing, is because our eyesight is only one function. You still have taste, you have smell, you have hearing, you have all these other senses. But that's a perfect analogy of why we're fundamentally flawed. Because what you just said, that comment of we haven't been able to photograph them, that's one sense. We have 5 fucking senses, technically 6 if you want to get.
So we can smell them.
We could. But no, did you? So I watched a special the other day. You know that footage of that alien that like landed in the backyard and they freaked out? They actually did it's a company called Vector, and I've used Vector. You use it a lot in movie production. And the reason why you use it in movie production is if you ever seen those people wear those suits with the balls attached to them, like the neon balls. You know, I had to throw balls in at least some point in this podcast. So what it does is it
really hard.
It tracks the movement.
Yep.
Using Vector software, and that company is Vector. They're the ones who
don't they use that for like CGI too?
Yes, they use it for CGI. So what they did is they applied that Vector software to that fence, where the fence was and where they were running into the fence, and the Vector software like tracked the motion, like it found the legs, found the torso, found the arms, and then it even at one point the Vector software rotated because the creature or whatever it was in the video actually rotates and turns its head. And so like they literally tracked it with this AI software, and the AI picked it up. And so it's like, because there are people trying to debunk it's a shadow, it's this, but and even the guy at the Vector,
I want to know where the spacecraft is. Damn it!
I know, like how did that just disappear? Like they left the aliens and just took the fuck off? Like what happened?
There's no like it didn't land.
You know what? I think I know what it is. I think I figured it out.
Fuck them.
It was a woman driving.
No, then all the construction equipment would have been fucked up. Like, what are you talking
Well, why do you think they were found on the construction equipment? They're like, yeah, let's go.
Oh, they're like, we got to fix the mess she made, right?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Hey, if we dig a big enough hole, we can bury her in it.
Yeah, man.
Wouldn't that be funny if alien rednecks?
So I'm assuming Howard, was he dropping any specific names or no?
Specific names on what?
Like Cat Williams. Cat Williams was like flat out threw people out there.
Well, no, he's spitting out names like Einstein. He's spitting out names like Newton. I mean, he's spitting out.
I'm talking like outing people.
Yeah, he's outing their philosophies. He's outing their ideas. He's outing all of them because he said there are no straight lines. And
I thought you meant like he was outing celebrities and shit.
Well, he's outing all the knowledge that we supposedly learned from the state, you know, which is basically they tell you what you need to know. It's State Board of Education. It's literally in their fucking name.
Oh yeah, the government. That's what.
So they control the narrative. They control your information. They control what you can and can't know and all that sort of stuff. So what he's basically doing, he's outing that everything that we've been taught is wrong, and that there are no straight lines. And if you look in nature, there are no straight lines. And if you even look at the Fibonacci spiral, that is actually a spiral. It's a curve.
I know.
And he's saying that's why, like, these flat earthers and all that shit makes no sense, because planets are curved. Everything is curved. Nature.
Oh, there's an MMA fighter that went round and round with Rogan over flat Earth.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was like, and he had a couple points that actually, like, logically made sense for their argument. But Rogan is like, come on. He goes, how do you know where that picture was taken from space? He goes, because this was taken from the space station. And he's like, yeah, but how? Like, he just was not hearing it. But
I mean, that's the problem, and that's one of the things that I valued about this conversation that I had with this elderly lady or whatever, was the fact that, like, we were bouncing ideas off, and there was, like, no bad solution, because we weren't talking about problems. We were coming up with solutions. Like, we're coming up with ideas, and it's cool to have somebody that you can bounce those ideas off of, because then you can elaborate and you can expand on them. But, like, when you just shut something down because you don't want to hear the narrative, that doesn't solve anything. Yep. Like, don't shut it down. Be open and be receptive to that idea, because you can use that to either prove your point or to expand off of that idea.
Well, that's what case in point. Watch that clip with Rogan arguing with the dude. He was actually listening to what he had to say before he was like, dude, what the fuck? He was like, okay. He goes, that's a sound point. He's flat out saw his point. He goes, that makes sense. He goes, it does, but, and then he hit him with something else. But no, I thought you meant Howard was, like, actually outing Hollywood and shit too as well.
I'm trying to remember if he said anything specific.
He didn't go to Diddy's parties, I guarantee you.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, and he did touch a little bit about alcohol, and he did touch about, like, doing the drugs and stuff in the Hollywood scene. He goes, why would I want to? He basically used the same argument that I was like, why would I want to destroy the most powerful thing I have, which is your brain? It was like, why would I want to fuck that up? Why would I want to, desensitize that? Why would I want to take that away from me? That's my one superpower, so to speak. And so I was like, man, that's brilliant what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. Agreed, dude.
But yeah, so to the point is that's why people are like, we need to save him, because the government, like, he knows too much, and you can't have somebody that knows too much, because then when other people start following, then we have a problem.
There's actually another actor out there. He's a white dude, and he has, like, he looks really weird. He's got almost white hair, and he was blacklisted from Hollywood for a really long time because he refused to do any roles that involved him being romantically involved with another person, because he was married. He wouldn't kiss anybody. He wouldn't. He wasn't willing to compromise those principles, and because of that, he was blackballed till just recently.
You can't remember what that person.
No, I'm trying to remember his name. Hold on, I can find it real quick.
But it's like I want to see society, like, encourage more people like him than these other arrogant and pompous and, like, just these people that think they know everything. But, like, they were basically saying that the new thing is they're trying to discredit him, right? They're trying to say that they're doing the same. Remember Bob Lazar? Remember when he came out and they basically said, oh, we have no record of him ever going to college. We have no record of, like, they literally just erased his past. Well, somebody had a good argument. They said, well, they can try to erase Terrence Howard's past by saying he didn't get these, degrees and everything else. But he goes, at the end of the day, those 92 patents, they're still in his name, and you can't unpatent
a patent.
Yeah, unpatent a patent. That's the whole.
Not yours anymore.
Yeah, it's like that's the whole point of a patent. And so I was like, kudos for him, because no matter what, like, he has that. So no matter how many people try to discredit, I mean, and you got to think about it from an argument and from a genius standpoint, right? Like, an idiot's not going to have 92 patents, period. Because if an idiot came up with, like, 2 patents, chances are it's already been done. You know what I mean? It's like, yet 92 that haven't been done that you actually filed and you were successful. Like that's a lot, man. 'Cause think of how many products, and think of if you ever look at a package, guys. If you look at the patent number, we're in the millions. So that means there's millions of products of patents.
So
So for you to come up with an original idea that is patentable,
especially 92 times.
Yeah, 92 times.
So the other actor I was talking about, his name is Neil McDonough.
Okay,
McDonough, McDonough.
Okay,
McDonough. But anyway,
like that,
he was the. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have 92 patents.
Yeah.
So Hollywood was pretty successful in blackballing him at first. Like he wasn't seen in anything for years, and I think it's Prime that actually reached out to him and got him in a series. I think it was Prime. I'd have to research it, but yeah, he was like, I don't remember the last time. He was like a murderer in a movie like 15, 20 years ago almost was the last thing I saw him do that was big.
Wow.
And I always wondered what happened to him, and then I saw this whole expose about how he was blacklisted because he refused to kiss any other woman but his wife for a role.
See, and that's interesting because like that was one of the questions that I asked, like what happened to Terrence Howard, because his career like literally took off. He was like,
I know,
he was like Mr. Untouchable for a while. Like, I mean, he literally went from
this guy too.
Like he literally went from a nobody to like an A-list actor like overnight. Like he did Crash, like he was phenomenal in that. Then Hustle and Flow, that was my all-time favorite.
He was in Iron Man, like the original one.
Was he really?
Kicked off. Yeah, he was co-star with Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, and that's when that beef started, right? Or that when it started, or what happened?
So what I've read is the two just didn't get along. There was differences, and he didn't like the way RJD did a lot of business on set. But again, he said a lot of this was made up in the news. So we're not getting from his side. It got done. Marvel decided not to move forward with him as Colonel Rhodes in Iron Man 2, and it was kind of a surprise to him because RJD, last time they talked, apparently that he was going to go through with the next role, but Marvel decided otherwise. And so when Terrence called Robert Downey Jr., RDJ, whatever.
You can say Robert Downey.
Yeah, Robert. And he said he called him 24 or 27 different times, and he refused to pick up. And then he saw him at a party and just kind of brushed him off. Which kind of sucks because Robert Downey Jr. is actually joining what's his name, Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg. He's helping him out with the anti-woke studio.
Awesome.
And so for me, so I can't say that.
I'm so tired of watching something and you can see the political implementations and the woke. It's like this,
and he was part of Disney, which is really crazy. You know what I mean?
Well, and the crazy thing, like for me as a director and producer and editor and everything else, it's like I see clearly through the bullshit, and it's like this is not necessary. Like we could take that out of the movie, and it would actually probably be better because you're not pushing a narrative. And I'm like, that's why I have a hard time watching any new movies, is because they're all pushing a fucking narrative. It's like
anything from Disney is pushing.
Oh, it's so frustrating. And it got me thinking about that because one of the things that Terrence Howard said was the tree of life. And I don't know if you know any, and then this is a new conspiracy that I've never heard of, and I had to research it because he talked about the tree of life. And there are some theories that are going out that mountains are actually tree trunks and trees that had been wiped away basically by the Great Flood. You know, you've heard the Great Flood, right?
So there were trees the size of mountains?
Yeah, they're basically saying there used to be giant trees that were miles high. So think about Avatar now for a minute. Think about the tree of life and that gigantic tree that got cut down. And like they're basically,
I got one in my frame.
Yeah, that motherfucker needs to go.
That's the tree of life.
That tree will like live forever. That tree is Satan. But yeah, it got me thinking because I'm like going, yeah, he's talking about the tree of life, and I'm like, and then of course I hear that whole conspiracy thing about like, you know, that basically mountains and stuff, and then all the valleys and stuff are where these trees either got uprooted or, you know, and then it kind of goes into the explanation of different erosion patterns in mountains. And if you look at a mountain, if you dissect it and you look at the way the ring, there's rings in it.
I know.
basically like a tree, right? So that it kind of like, well, maybe there's some credence to this, because if the way the structure of a tree that has tree rings, you count the age by the rings, like maybe there's some truth to this. But anyway, it got me to thinking, and there's this one huge structure, and I can't remember where it is, but it looks literally like a tree was cut completely level. It's not Ayers Rock, which is in Australia. I was trying to research it because I wanted to pull it up for this podcast.
Like the Devil's Table or something. It's Utah or something.
Yeah, Wyoming. That's the Devil's.
Here, I'll find it.
The Devil's Table, but that's not the one. There's another one that's even bigger than that and perfectly flat. And once again, going back to Terrence Howard, like there are no straight lines in nature. So it kind of goes, it makes your gears starting to spin and stuff like that. But yeah, like just the stuff that I've been studying because of listening to him and thinking of things differently and thinking of.
There are no straight lines. I'm like thinking about it. I mean, a tree trunk.
Look at a rock.
Aside from the branches, a tree trunk is pretty straight. I mean, I guess the branches would cancel that.
But I mean, even a tree trunk is not completely straight. Now we plane a tree in order to make it straight, that we run it through a mill in order to make it completely straight. But in nature there are no straight lines. And so the problem is even if you look at the Pythagorean theorem and you look at the golden circle, which is the Fibonacci spiral,
Devil's Tower,
Devil's Tower, that's in Wyoming. If you look at like the Fibonacci spiral, which for people that don't know, that used to actually be my logo for E-dge Entertainment. So
on the looks like a shell almost.
Yes, and it's based on, I forget the rule, the golden rule. That's what it is. It's based off the golden rule. The perfect ratio is what it's called. But that basically, if you look at a sunflower, it's the same way. If you look at how a wave curls, it's the same Fibonacci spiral. I actually studied it extensively because that's why I have it as my logo for E-dge Entertainment, because when you're looking at a viewfinder and you go to snap a picture, you want the Fibonacci spiral where it goes into a real tight circle. You want that to be located on their eye. So because what it does is you instinctively, you focus on that area of the frame. And so if you put the eye and you put them in focus and you put them in that exact spot, then your eye is drawn, and then it tells a story, right? Instead of a flat image, you kind of, it like builds a story and stuff out of it. So anyway, long story short, this is all stuff that he was discussing, and like in how we took the Fibonacci spiral and then we created what? Boxes. So we could understand the ratio by making straight lines. And so he's like, we were failed from the beginning because we had to, in our heads, have straight lines. And so I was like going, damn, man, he's some shit.
He's smart.
He's a smart dude.
He's smart. Baby, Lindsay, you're saying I thought Terrence got domestic violence charged. So that's what we were just talking about.
Yeah, you missed it. They're trying to slander it.
He got blackballed from the industry because he's again not one of those Hollywood elitists, which really trips me out, because Robert Downey Jr. is turning out to not be one as well, but he doesn't seem to be getting blacklisted. Terrence Howard has very obviously been blacklisted since he left Empire. I think Empire was like his last really good run. Empire ran for several seasons and did very, very well.
Yeah.
And he was good in that too. But the thing is the domestic stuff and whatnot is a lot of stuff that's being drummed up in the media with no like actual I guess without facts.
No facts.
The factual evidence. There's been no follow through with actually being somebody to be able to put evidence or substantiate an actual
claim.
Yep.
So Lindsay, thank you for bringing that up, because that was one of the things why I wanted to discuss the Save Terrence Howard movement, because we need to start one.
The dude is super smart. I read about him a long time ago, but then after watching that Joe Rogan stuff, like, Jesus, this dude's on another level.
Oh yeah, he is insane.
Supposedly Cat Williams is too. Cat Williams apparently has been a member of Mensa for God knows how long, since he was young.
That's crazy.
So, and you can't really cancel him.
No. Well, and that's the thing, is literally a day after Terrence Howard did that Joe Rogan interview, it basically put crosshairs. Yes, you found it. Thank you. You are amazing. It's in Venezuela.
I don't see shit. What
Serra
are you talking about?
Utana. I'm trying to find a good image so I can kind of.
Nobody. I'm not seeing this comment. You said thank you.
Donna.
Oh, I just saw Devil. Oh, there it is. I found it. And it's got to scroll up. I got to be smarter than the object I'm working with.
Okay, so Donna, that's not quite the same one, but that is a good representation of what I'm talking about. The one that I'm talking about actually has, it's hollowed out in the center, and I for the life of me, I think it's in Bahrain. I think it's somewhere in the Middle East, but the one that I'm talking about is completely level, flat, but in the center is basically a hole, and I think, and it got my wheel spinning and everything else, and I'm like, honestly, I think that was the tree of life at one point that had been completely leveled, and in that basically, all life on the planet.
Our research division says it's Goyat in Ethiopia.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Guyot. Man, we got our research.
I'm so glad I was literally racking my
Started to
brain
speak.
last night trying to find anything, and I'm like, how do I even look this up? Tree-shaped mountain that has hole in middle.
Yeah.
I was literally trying that. Like
AI would look at you like, what the?
Even AI was like, going, nope, that ain't it.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, sir.
No, that's a volcano. That's clearly that's close. But this one it's almost like a combination of the two, of the one that she mentioned earlier and this one.
I'm sure
it's gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna have to find this.
I'm not doubting Mr. Terrence Howard or whatnot, but
yeah,
sorry, I'm gonna need hard soil evidence, true hard soil evidence to show me that mountains were once fucking trees. I'm sorry.
Oh no, he didn't say that. No, that's totally separate. That is a conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
That it's been started because of God, I can't remember what actually started.
I don't buy it.
Oh, because of the no straight lines.
So there's no straight lines. Shit happens. Like, so why, if we notice that, why can't rocks not be in straight lines? Why is it got to be a tree? I mean, last time I checked, a rock is a rock, and petrified wood is still wood, but it's almost it's basically as hard as a rock.
Right.
But it's still wood because you call it petrified wood. It's
yeah,
not a rock.
But it is a rock.
But no, it's not.
But no, it's
so like all rocks are rocks, but not all petrified woods are rocks. Wait, what?
We're gonna need our neighborhood geologist for that.
Yep. Did you?
No, I just wanted to put that out there because that was so he started talking about the tree of life, and then that kind of started the whole me researching and then finding that plateau, and then finding out about there's now a new conspiracy about that all mountains are basically trees or some shit.
Yeah, true.
So, and that they're basically saying that the canopy and the trees that we have in our forests and stuff right now are like basically shrubs. Well, and it goes back to the theory of the Earth resetting, whether you believe that or not, that the Earth resets every X amount of, because they're like, you look at it like, okay, so where are the Egyptians? Like, where are, in the technology that they had, like, where did it go? You know what I mean?
I mean, let's be honest, if we're being completely honest with what scientists have said, that there was like 5 or 8 extinction level events before even the dinosaurs got killed, even before they got wiped out. So maybe God's winding up. I don't know, man. Dude, it's
okay, so let's backtrack a little bit, okay? The movie Idiocracy, right? Like, where we become so dependent on, like, let's say I just decide I'm not going to learn anymore because I know that you know the answers, right? So, and then other people are relying on other people because they know that they have the answers instead of trying to figure them out yourself, right?
Dumb people are going to do that with AI.
That's exactly where I'm going with this. That's exactly where I'm going with this, bro. Thank you for hitting the nail on the head. So we become reliant on technology, AI. So then we stop thinking for ourselves and we allow other things to think for us. Well, what happens? We no longer know how. We are no longer independent. Therefore, we are no longer free, and we no longer rely and basically are independent. we now have to rely on technology to give us the answers and give us the information that we need in order to do whatever.
Yep.
But then it comes to a point where robotics and AI come in, and now we don't even rely on us to do any of the critical thinking or any of the critical movement. But then what happens, like, let's say, hypothetical situation, the world goes ape fucking shit, and like everything gets decimated and desecrated and everything else. Like, all of that knowledge no longer exists.
Yep.
All of that information and all of that reliance, because we become so reliant on technology, no longer exists.
Yes, it does.
And then
no, it doesn't. I mean,
then we basically start, and then you think about, okay, well, let's go look at history. Let's go look at the Egyptians. Let's go, what happens if they got so technologically advanced that they wiped themselves out, and then there's no proof of this because it's information, right? It's not tangible.
I think they just left.
They just left. What did they do?
Them and the Mayans, they left.
They left where to go?
They got in their fucking. They
got in their canoes.
You seem pretty cool. We call you gods. Can we hitch a ride with you? And they're like, you know what? Fuck it. It'd be more fun to have more people on. More the merrier. Let's do this.
So let's go down that road. So I mean, it's this is up for debate. Like, we don't know the answer, so let's debate it. Let's talk about it. So, like, if that was the case and they beamed them up, why would they do that? What would be the advantage for a outer civilization?
Maybe because they weren't. They're like, we got to grab them now before they start acting like what we act like now. He's like, shit, we got to get them early.
Exactly.
Just like getting kids young. You teach them young, they won't know any better.
But let's play even more devil's advocate and play hypothetical here. Like, what if you were the higher being? What would the being below you? What would they have to offer you that you would be worth saving them? Like, what could they do to give you their saving grace? Like what avenue would you be like, okay, yeah, we're missing this, or we need this, or whatever?
I mean, maybe I just am a head alien that just likes female earthlings, and that's what's in it for me. Like, I need to start the hybrid population. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, there we go. That's good. That'll work for me.
Or what if they abducted them to help? Let me put this: help them, and then they realize that they can't save them, so then they start a new civilization, and then they do this over and over.
Well, I mean, remember Stargate, right?
I think
Stargate played with a very similar concept about Egyptians, and they ended up on this planet because the Egyptians ended up overthrowing the alien master. But where over here on this other planet, he started the human race, he outlawed writing and whatnot, so they couldn't become smart.
Yes,
couldn't figure him out.
Well, that's kind of what certain somebody wrote.
Who? Terrence Howard?
Lindsay. In the comments. I'm not going to say it.
Oh, slaves. Slave to you.
But basically, that's exactly it. Where I was going, Lindsay, you nailed it. That's exactly what I was going to do. Because you are a superior race, you would have them do the stuff that you don't want to do. And you don't want to...
Well, what did the Egyptians do? They enslaved the Jews.
My whole point.
Like, yeah.
And so then it plays into that whole thing, is that maybe those were captured to become, indentured servants. And then that's exactly what we're going to happen to. But here's the thing.
What?
There's got to be a criteria of enlightenment or intelligence, so to speak, for them to want to help us and want us. Maybe they didn't achieve that level of intelligence. So that's why they...
No, I'm out. They're not going to pick me. Keep myself stupid so they don't. I'm good, y'all. I live my life. Leave me and my family alone. Let us live out our time here on Earth.
All right, I got to look this up.
Now, I know we were talking about straight lines and how there's nothing in lines. There's no true straight lines in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, apparently Pope Francis has spoken out too, because there's no straight lines in nature. Hurls gay slur in private meeting with Christians.
I knew that was coming. I totally knew that was
legitimately coming. This guy, who's supposed to be the new age pope that people are liking because he's more accepting of everybody's lifestyle, Pope Francis got a little bit homophobic behind closed Vatican doors, referencing the faggotness, using the word.
He said that?
Yes, he used that word. He was caught. He goes, "This is all." He goes, he and he's defending the church's ban on gays becoming priests. Which, I mean, against that does go against Catholic. Not that I'm defending the Catholics, but he's right as far as that. The Pope mused, and there is an air, like smelling the air. There is an air of faggotness in seminaries.
Wow.
The Pope was talking to his bishops last week when he used the slur. Unnamed bishops who were present reportedly said Francis used it jokingly. Like, this isn't the 90s and the early 2000s anymore. You can't really joke with that word anymore because people get so sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you're hanging with your homies and you're like, yeah, you fudger. And I'm not going to say the word again because I've already said it 3 times in reading the story, but but the thing is like, even your friends are like, dude, you can't say that anymore. We used to call each other that shit all the time.
Right.
Yeah, the reference was a far cry from the Pope's public stance that there is room for everyone in the Catholic Church. I was going to say, as soon as the doors closed, he's like, you can't come in. Me. I mean, I did not say that. Vatican spokesman issued an apology of sorts. The Pope never intended to offend or express himself in a homophobic terms, and he extends his apology, so he couldn't even come out and apologize himself. He had
his people do it.
Like,
interesting.
I'm baptized Catholic, but those of you who know me know I'm not a fan of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, especially with all their wrongdoings and stuff over the centuries.
It's not just wrongdoings. It's like travesties and like obscenities and like wrongdoings is putting it so lightly. The covering up of just
that's the biggest thing right there.
Thousands and thousands of molested church boys. Just like,
and then just to sweep it under the rug like it was no big deal. It's like that's beyond. And not so. My biggest thing, and that's another thing that you talked about humanity earlier. My biggest thing is accountability. Like, nobody holds anybody accountable for shit. Speaking of, did you hear the fucking latest thing? So, a 9-year-old girl went into a bathroom in a American Airlines.
I was waiting for you to say something about Diddy, but go ahead.
Well, that too.
Probably would involve a 9-year-old girl, but go ahead.
Yes. So American Airlines came out and so let me kind of backtrack on the story. So this girl goes into the bathroom, 14-year-old girl goes into the bathroom on American Airlines flight. Guy gets up, escorts her to like where the bathrooms are or whatever. And he said, hold on, before you go in, let me wash my hands, yada, yada. So the guy goes in, washes his hand, comes out. Well, the girl goes into the restroom and and he tells the guy tells the girl that the toilet's broken. And that the seat lid can't go down or whatever, the toilet's broken. Anyway, long story short, the girl goes in and sees a light and tape to an iPhone that is taped to the back seat of the toilet with the camera flashlight on, and she decides to go to use the restroom, even though knowing that there's an obvious, and I've seen the picture, it's very obvious that it is an iPhone. You can
How
see
old is
the
girl?
14. And a 14-year-old knows what a fucking iPhone looks like. She could probably spot it from the opposite side of the fucking plane.
Anyways, I don't like where this is going, but go ahead.
So anyway, long story short, the authorities and stuff literally were waiting for him as the plane landed. The guy was escorted off the plane, and he was arrested. And apparently when they went through his phone, they found a 14-year-old, a 9-year-old, 11-year-old, and they found multiple others that he's done this to.
This is a flight attendant?
No, this is somebody who was flying on the plane. I don't believe it was a flight attendant.
So he does this on multiple flights?
He's done this on multiple occasions. And if you look at the tape, it looks like the legit tape that like an airline would carry that says caution, toilet malfunction. It's got red and black, stripes and shit on it. Like, it looks like legit airplane issued like caution tape. Now, obviously, the light and the camera and all that, the shape of the freaking iPhone was quite obvious through the tape, but
just a little bit.
So American Airlines came out basically saying that it was negligence on the 9-year-old for going to the bathroom knowing that there was a phone spying.
9-year-old?
14-year-old. Sorry, 14-year-old knowing that the phone was spying on her. Yeah. So how do you feel about that, audience? What? Imagine if it was your 9-year-old daughter or niece or something along those lines. Or not 9. Why do I keep saying 9?
I don't know.
14.
But
I think because when I first heard the story, I heard it was 9, and then when I heard today it was 14.
I'm not gonna lie. Yes, that it is weird that she did that. It's weird that she continued to sit down.
Right.
14-year-old definitely has their own phone. Knows that a phone is when a phone's filming.
She took a picture of the phone with her phone. By the way, I'm not 100% certain that the picture was from her phone, but somebody had taken a picture of the phone mounted with the light on and everything else, and it was painstakingly obvious. Actually,
That shit is, I don't know, man. It flabbergasts me, the stuff that people, like you said, no accountability. People think they can get away with, like, especially at certain levels. Like, but the thing is that's the problem though. Is nobody's. I know. If the feds truly, like, we're going back to Diddy, if the feds truly investigate him, he could go down for some real shit. But the thing is, if he skips out like he has on everything else, like, he'll get canceled publicly, but he's not going to fucking lose it. The motherfucker's almost a billionaire.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to fucking touch him. Nobody.
Unfortunately.
Unless the feds turn up some real harsh, like, true evidence that, R. Kelly shit, definitely, no questions asked, this has definitely happened. He's still going to get off scot-free because there's no accountability when you have that much money. There is no accountability. Like, I'm surprised they haven't found something on Musk yet. Other than he, dates Johnny Depp's ex-girlfriends.
Does he?
Supposedly Amber cheated on Johnny with Elon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, supposedly. I don't know. But yeah, man, the way people think they can just get away with stuff, like it just like, yeah, this is okay. I'm gonna traffic women. I'm gonna film little girls. I'm gonna groom women, and I'm gonna beat them, and I'm gonna have like, and nobody's gonna catch me ever because I'm just too powerful. Like,
right.
That kind of shit. Like, nowadays, you should know better. There is no level that you can't be torn down from. Now, granted, will he still have money? Yes, I'm sure he will still have money. But the thing is like, unless they put him in jail, he's not getting torn down.
I tried to find a high-res picture, but this is the only one I could find. But as you can tell from the picture, this is what the 14-year-old saw. Yeah. I mean, could you not be more obvious? Like, clearly it's taken on the shape of...
Whether it's an iPhone or not, I don't give a fuck. I'm sitting down, there's a light on my butthole.
Yeah, right?
Like, no. No.
So, yeah, that's why I was like, you got to see the picture, because, like, the picture... Like,
I want to know is, how does the dude make it back into the bathroom to pick up his fucking phone?
Right?
Nobody noticing. And is he not filming dudes too? Like, if he's just leaving it in?
Well, no, remember, because he has to go in before her.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, had she not taken that picture, would he just gone back in and gotten his phone off the seat? Like, you don't think somebody motherfucking reported? Obviously. Well, it's really... Okay, I'm sorry. He did say that he's done this a couple times, so I guess not enough people spoke up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the problem. But somebody obviously clearly spoke up.
Oh, Donna said it was a male flight attendant.
Oh, it was.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, that wasn't 100% certain.
That's probably why she trusted him.
Yep.
He's like, I need to go in there before you, which is really crazy because not a lot of male flight attendants are straight. Speaking of no straight lines in nature. Mm-hmm. Just full circle tonight.
I love how all of our stories are completely related.
I mean, no straight lines. They like Peter. I got a story that's about PETA.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
PETA wants Stormy Daniels in the new anti-horse racing PSA with the Trump jab. So basically, the ad goes, because you know how, like, everybody, like the Kentucky Derby, everybody's like, oh, the Kentucky Derby, and then it's over in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The ad literally says, nobody likes a 2-minute ride. Turn your back on horse racing cruelty. And then it flashes a pop-up of Stormy saying this and Trump. Nobody likes a 2-minute ride.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
Clever.
Sure you do.
Clever.
But yeah, no, that's good stuff right there. Mike Tyson had an ulcer so bad on the plane that they had to land and get medical attention.
Oh crap!
His ulcer acted up so bad that they had to.
Oh,
they didn't
speaking
have-
of, so when I was in North Carolina, I forgot to mention the story. So part of like this place that I went to, and Donna, you'll get a kick out of this. So Donna was asking me like what the name of the Donna put PETA, people eating tasty animals.
Yep.
So I went to the National Whitewater area or place that's in North Carolina. It's it's pretty close to their house. So they had whitewater rafting. They had one side is like a 2, and then the other side is like a 3. Well, what they do is they close one of the sides, and then all the water flows to the other side, and then that one becomes a 4. So that's where they hold like the Olympic training, and they also do like police fire there training. They do SEAL training. They do a lot of different trainings for government organizations and stuff there. Well, anyway, so I was like, you know what? I want to do the zip line because they have like the zip line that goes like 90 miles an hour, dude. And it goes like through the treetops and all this shit. But it had a rope course, and then it had this tall ass tower that I kid you not was probably 30 or 40 stories. You could see it anywhere in Charlotte. Like it's a tall ass freaking tower that has steps that you have to climb. By the time you get to the top, you're so exhausted, you're just ready to get on that zip line so you can get the fuck off the thing. So I climb this thing, I get to the top, I get the zip line thing, and I'm like going, they make you walk out onto this little tiny wooden box. And I'm like thinking, I'm looking down and I'm going, I'm not even tethered. And so I'm like going, don't make any sudden movements. Like doing everything in slow motion, right? Like taking like little baby steps and shit like that. And I'm just like, I can see myself fucking tripping. Right? I can see myself tripping right now, or the box flipping upside down or some shit. Like I put my weight on the edge or whatever. The box fucking turns over and there goes Devin.
Jesus.
So, you know, I'm like playing Final Destination in my head. I'm like, this is going to be a fucking terrible way to die. Which is funny because y'all were talking about wills and everything else at the party. So it just reminded me of this story.
Where do I leave this?
So I do it, and it goes zip lining all the way across, and then there's this rope course, right? Well, that day it was like 95 or 93 degrees. It was like in the 90s. It was really, really hot.
Super fucking hot.
And so what I didn't think about, like I'm doing the rope course, and now granted you're climbing down from that, 30, 40 story, whatever, however tall that big ass tower was. You're basically climbing down, and there's couple areas where you're climbing up. Well, the thing I didn't think about is you're in the woods. There's no breeze. So you have all the heat, but no way to cool you down. And you're doing basically all these, very physical activities and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so I get to like the final zip line, and all of a sudden, like I start getting dizzy, and I'm like going, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, and then I start dry heaving, and I'm like going, shit, I better not be having a fucking heart attack up on this motherfucker. And I'm like, I'm almost near the end. And then all of a sudden I start doing the whole vomiting thing. Like I nothing was coming up, and it just kept doing it. It kept convulsing. And I'm literally hanging on to this bridge, dude. And I'm like probably 30 or 40 feet off the ground. And I'm literally hanging on to one side of one rope.
Just having the time of your life.
Oh, dude. And I'm in the middle of this bridge, and it's swinging back and forth. And I'm just going, oh, this is not helping the fucking situation.
Yes, it is.
And I'm like, don't throw up. And I'm like trying to put my hand on my head. You know how they teach you in like track and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So you open up
in
your
through
airways.
Your nose, out through your mouth.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to like talk myself out of it. I'm literally trying to like put one hand up and one here. I'm like trying to cool myself down because I knew what it was. It's just like I got overly exhausted, like heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
There was no water at all.
And you're being anxious on top of that. Like you're up there.
Yeah, and we're an hour and a half into this physical labor, and there's not one fucking water station anywhere.
Your body's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. And I'm looking at my watch, like trying to check my heart rate, right? Making sure it's not a heart attack or anything heart related. And like my watch is everything, my heart rate, everything is fine. And I'm going, okay, then it's got to be the heat. It's just got to be that the heat and just overexhaustion and not enough water, hydration, that sort of thing. So I finally puked, and dude, it was disgusting. So imagine looking over and seeing somebody 30 feet, 40 feet in the air just projectile vomit down. Exactly.
Shit. Duck, run, duck for cover.
And so after that, I was like, I gotta get to the edge of the bridge. I was like, I gotta get to the next station. And so I like make my way, and I'm like, at this point, I'm not even holding on to the fucking cables anymore. I'm just
Please just make it be over.
Yeah. So I get there, and I'm like, and I see their giant orange and white water bucket thing. You know, one of those Gatorade 5-gallon type things. And I'm like, oh, good water. And they're like, oh, that's not for you. That's for employees. And I'm like going, you watched me throw up. I'm literally having heat exhaustion, and you're refusing to give me fucking water. Oh, dude, I was fucking livid. I was so fucking pissed. Yes, you're absolutely right, Donna. The humidity was with all the rainstorms and shit they had. The humidity was at like 90%. Like, it was ridiculous.
That's fucking crazy.
And I would have never thought there, because everybody's like, well, aren't you used to the heat in Texas? I'm like, no, this is a different type of heat. Like, we have a dry heat. I can handle that. Like, this is like a fucking soaking shirt just standing outside, heat.
Oh, shit.
What?
I just noticed what time it was.
Oh, shit. Well, that's cool. I'm almost done with the story. So anyway, long story short, like, I like almost had an emergency situation where like the medics would have.
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't give you water, dude.
Dude, yeah, and I had to go all the way downstairs. I had to go walk probably a quarter mile to get to one of the not convenience stores, bars, in order to get water. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Dude, no way, bro. No.
Yeah, so that really, really fucking pissed me off.
After puking, dude, this is one of the first things you do as a company is go give them some water. Like,
dude, they fucking straight up refused to give me water. I was like,
you should have just walked over there and stuck your mouth out.
I should have just stuck my head in it and just fucking dumped it on me. Here's your fucking water, bitches. Now go refill it.
Go refill it with that hose that you guys used. Yeah, man. Yeah, it is getting late. I do have to.
Yeah, I do too. I got a long day tomorrow.
I got debris to clear out of the pool too.
Oh,
not tonight, but definitely tomorrow.
But yeah, so that was my U.S. National Whitewater Center experience.
That's pretty cool, man.
But yeah, I mean, now, granted, we did the rafting afterwards, so like that water and all that shit felt fucking amazing, and I was fine for the rest of the day once I got that out.
Because it's all fresh water too, right?
It's actually like it's pool water. So it originally was fresh water. It was actually, but then they had some kind of amoeba that like went in your nose and like basically caused brain damage.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, so then they decided that they were no longer going to use the water from the river, and they were going to just chlorinate it, close it off, and chlorinate the whole thing. Okay. But before, it was actually fresh water from the river. It was actually river fed.
Sounds pretty cool, man. Sounds like what'd you put? Some sports aren't for the faint of heart.
Yeah, trust me, because I almost died.
Grip it and rip it. I'm sorry, that's golf. But it's funny though.
Oh, dude, I should have sent you the pictures. I played Top Golf with my cousins and whooped their ass.
Played what?
Top Golf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fucking. I like stomped it, dude. It was like I got 140, and I think they got like the highest score they got was 70 or 80. And I was like, dude, I almost doubled your score.
It happens, man.
So I felt good. That was my crowning moment.
Thwack. That's the best, hitting the ball right there. Thwack. Thwack. That's what this sounds like.
It does kind of sound like that.
All right, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing week, and we will catch you next Tuesday. Andy, you got anything wonderful and delightful to say?
If we don't see you before then, don't be like Diddy.
Whoa. On that note, y'all have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week.